Hello everyone! How you doing? Good, I hope. We're gonna have kind of a whatever stream today. We're just gonna watch whatever I and you guys want. Yes, Daddy Sume, I know you want Karens. I have some queued up for us. You should read about his hatred of potatoes. Wait, whose hatred of potatoes? I haven't been reading the chat. I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't mean to cheer that? Well, I'll take your penny anyway. Did y'all see Trump admitted to downplaying COVID? Yes, I did see that. Nimnix, thank you for continuing your sub for 3 months. It's not gonna make a difference. Like, literally, Trump could say to the faces of right-wing people, like, I fucking hate you. I tricked you, you rubes. And they'd be like, he just tells it like it is. What an honest guy. I love him. He could literally spit in their mouth and he'd be like, thanks, daddy. Like, they do not care. Sorry, taking my
the tools of capitalism.
Hormones and stuff. I forgot to take them earlier. Windchanter with 39 bits. Can we see what John Doyle is doing? Maybe. I don't know if I feel like doing Doyle today. If not, tomorrow's Chud Watch anyway, so if we don't get to it today, we'll get to it tomorrow.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Cotton Candy 903. Hello, Hannah. How are you in Baja today? We're doing good. Thanks for asking. Daddy Sume with a bit. Donald Trump, his hatred of potatoes because of his family members dumping potatoes on his head at dinner and everyone laughing at him. That's not a true story, is it? You remember Baz FZZ? He made a video about why he has no empathy for women. I also found out he's a virgin because he's a Christian fundamentalist. I'm sure he says he's a virgin because he's a Christian fundamentalist, but
There's nothing funny about
I
the
don't
tools
think
of
that's the
capitalism.
reason. And again, there's nothing wrong with not having sex. Like, who cares? It's not a big deal either way. But, like, the reason he's not had the relations is because he's abhorrent.
Anything
Daddy
would inspect
Sume
this
says
temple
it was
of
in the book.
capitalism.
Oh, Goth Geek Gaming, thank you for the raid of 2. Welcome, 2 raiders. Thank you. Appreciate that. Go check out Goth Geek Gaming. Their thing is in the chat, so you can go click on it probably and see their channel. Do not like taking pills. Sorry it wasn't more. Hey, no. Don't say that. I appreciate any raid, regardless of its size. Thank you, I appreciate it. Do I have a pill phobia too? It's not a phobia, I have a hard time swallowing pills. They don't creep me out like butterflies, which is a completely different story, but... Pills suck? They do suck. They do. The alternative is shots, though, and I'd rather not do that. I'm not a big fan of shots either, and that's inconvenient. You have to use a carbonated drink or you can't do it. Weirdly, I'm on the estrogen and I'm on spirulactone, which is T blocker. The pills that are the T blocker weirdly smell like marijuana. I'm not kidding. I've had everyone I know be like, smell these, and I'm like, what do these smell like? And a good portion of the time they're like, yeah, that smells like weed. It's very strange. I don't know if anyone else here takes Spiro and they have the same experience, but it's like minty weed. It's very strange. I don't know if there's some chemical similarity between Spiro and like marijuana. I don't know, but it smells like it. MMO addicted with 5 bits. Taken a shit ton of pills and shots since I was little. I can literally take fistfuls of pills, just swallow it with no drink. Yeah, Baja can do that too. I don't know. She gives me shit sometimes for not being able to take pills, but I don't know. It's tough. Cotton Candy 903. I have to take a few before bed every night. My birth control, sleep aid, and whatever necessary pain aid. If I were a cis woman, I think I would have gotten pregnant a lot. I'm bad at remembering to take pills at the correct time. Jaded Heathen says, been arguing with a transphobe who keeps saying that they fight to protect trans people to live as they want, while also saying that we shouldn't allow trans women to use women's services because what about the women and girls that are scared of male-bodied individuals? Ugh. Frustrating. Anyway, let's see what we got. I don't have that much. I have this video that someone just sent. I have this. This is the first appearance of Batman in any film. It's from 1930. I thought that might be interesting and fun to watch. It's like 20 minutes long.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
What about males who are afraid of male-bodied individuals? Yeah. DM Trey says, so it's funny, I started my new job and one of the other new workers is a total Karen Trump supporter and we spent hours trying to get her to understand why breaking monopoly is a good thing. I don't know, I pulled up the quartering in case there's anything we want to check out there. We got Doomcock, Karen Freakouts. Let me know anytime, any links you want to watch in the chat, any suggestions, because we're just going to hang out for some hours before D&D. Because we do have D&D tonight. And yeah, just gonna hang out and have fun. So. What do you guys want to watch first?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Should I send links to Hannah? You know what, Daddy Sume? I mean, if they're not Rickrolls, don't Rickroll me, please. Honor system. And don't say you have no honor. Honor is required. Otherwise, you're banned.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted to 5 bits. Congrats on getting close to your weight goal, Hannah. I myself inflated due to meds 2 years ago up to 330. Now I'm down to 230. I'm heading towards my own goal of 175. Wow, that's great. 100 pounds. That's awesome.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Daddy Sume, I have no shame. My honor is sacrosanct. DM Trey. For contrast, we are an alternative energy call center.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Karen or sovereign citizen in court. I already have the Karen thing up, so we could watch some Karens first. Looks like this first one's a mask Karen or something.
You wanted my attention.
Oh God. Oops, I skipped ahead.
You wanted my attention. You got my fucking attention, Karen.
Make sure to watch the full video. You do not want to miss what happens next.
Welcome back to Endless Uploads.
You don't even live here.
Oh, okay.
The pool is not.
So this first crazy lady actually believes that she knows every single person that lives in this neighborhood. So she tries to stop this nice couple from swimming at the pool at their local.
God, I hate people like this. I couldn't tell you what a single one of my neighbors looks like. There's an old lady across the street, but I can't describe what she looks like. Because I don't remember. Because I leave my neighbors alone. Because it's 2020 and who the fuck wants to talk to their neighbors? Why do people think they know everyone who lives around them? It's insane. What's your regimen? Like, do you use a bike or walk or something? I'm trying to get into it too because of quarantine equals weight gain. I've just been eating less. We did walk for quite a while. We haven't done that in a while, and today I used a bike, but most of the time I've just been watching my calories and making sure I stay under my maintenance calories. Met Dread with 100 bits. Hey, Hannah in chat. I'm a longtime lurker and fan. Yesterday I went to a doctor place to refill medications, and literally none of the staff, including the doctors, nurses, and receptionists, were wearing masks. It was scary, especially when a dude walked in and said, my wife is in the hospital with COVID, so I'm here to get tested, and the staff still never put on masks. I'm in Texas, by the way. Oh, God. I'm sorry. That sucks. People are idiots. Here's some sovereign citizen stuff? Okay. Oh, good. It's The Living Man. I love The Living Man. Okay, we can watch that a little bit later after the Karen stuff.
Watch the full video to see what happens.
You don't even live here.
Oh, okay.
The pool is not closed. No, I know. They're going to close it. No,
shit.
they're not.
Oh, no.
I think I would know.
Oh.
Well, you don't know who lives here. You don't know who lives here because I I do live here, bitch, and don't you ever fucking come up to me and tell me to go back to where I came from. You're a racist fucking prick. Go home and use your fucking dildo. You know who lives here?
Yeah.
You know who lives here?
Yeah, I do.
How do you know that I don't live
Let me
here?
tell you how. Because I was here when this neighborhood was built, and I knew every single person who bought in here.
Are
I
you?
lived here
Because no one new can move into the neighborhood at any point.
2010.
Are you?
2010? That was a decade ago, lady. You don't think new people have moved into the neighborhood in the last 10 years?
Serious right now?
I'm so serious.
So you know everybody loves
You know everyone that lives in my neighborhood.
You live here?
We do live
Yes.
here, actually.
That's great if you live here. Do you live here?
Yes,
He
bitch.
does.
Okay, so where?
I'm not giving you my address.
The next Karen has a
There's nothing
huge
funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted with 15 bits. Have the last of my bits. I'm going into lurk mode, mentally exhausted today, and having a bad mental health day on top of that. Hope everyone has a fabulous time. Oh, thanks, MMO addicted. I'm sorry you're having a bad day. I hope some of the fun stuff we watch on stream will cheer you up. At minimum, you know. Thanks, I appreciate it.
meltdown over wearing a mask. Let's check it out to see what happens next.
Shut up. I don't need to talk to you, but I can go on YouTube if you want me to. Don't fucking talk to me. Don't talk to me. Did I?
The transphobe blocked you. That conversation was frustrating anyway.
invite you into my conversation? Did I invite you into my conversation? Did I invite you into my conversation? Do you have any right to be speaking to me right now? Are you involved in this situation? Are you involved in it? I am. No, you're not. No, you're not. And don't talk to me. Do not talk to me. Take your bullshit mask off and act like a real person. And do it. You are not the boss of me.
What is wrong with these people? What is their aversion to masks? I don't understand. Does it actually have to do with the mask itself? Or is it entirely based around the childish attitude that, like, hey, we're recommending you wear a mask, or you need to wear a mask if it's in the case of a mask mandate, and their child brains can't handle being told, like, to go take a nap, and they're like, no, I don't want to do the thing! What percentage of adults that we see in a day-to-day basis are really just functional children that are walking around in adult bodies? It's honestly shocking to me how many it appears to be.
Do not talk to me. Do not talk to me. Do you understand? No one's threatening me.
There's nothing
Don't
funny
talk
about
to
the
me.
tools
You're gonna
of
talk to
It's
me.
entirely
I'm gonna yell at
entitlement.
you. How's that?
Yeah.
How's that? Talk to me. That's fine. I'm gonna yell right back at you. Don't talk to me. I don't care. Don't talk to me. Did you hear me tell you not to talk to me?
Didn't you
Don't
say you
talk
were
to
in
me.
a hurry?
You either. Don't. You guys can all fucking wait. Don't talk to me.
We are waiting with patience and kindness.
No, you're all fucking talking to me when I told you not to. Leave me alone. Every single one of you. No, leave me alone. I have just as much right to be here as you.
You're disrespectful to
It doesn't
the
matter. I
workers.
have just as much right to be here as you.
You're disrespectful.
I don't care. What are you gonna do about it?
Look what you're doing to
What
this
are you gonna
child.
do about it?
Look at this little
What are
girl.
you gonna do?
I hate that as a strategy. Look at this child. Think of the children. Okay, let's not. How about we don't?
You need to
I
leave.
told you not to talk to me. Don't talk to me. I have the right to say that. Do not talk to me.
Look at this little one. Have a heart. Have a brain. Get a hold of yourself.
There's nothing funny about the tools
And
of
Colston with
capitalism.
20 bits. I have a picture of Elliot Hulse wearing pantyhose as a mask. Seriously, what's wrong with people? That wouldn't even... They're so thin. That wouldn't help very much. Whatever. I guess it's better than him wearing nothing, but, like, what the fuck?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
And yet she's the only one really talking. Yeah. This Karen freakout sponsored by Haribo Gummy Bears.
So this woman gets into an altercation with this Karen after she follows her around the store, assuming that she's going to steal. She gets completely feds up, and watch what happens next.
My fourth time going through this. Keep the camera on Karen, please.
If you have your extra care card, please scan it now.
Now see this, my card been approved.
Please remember to take your receipt. Thank you for shopping at CV.
Are you happy now?
The fucking profiling. That's what gets me too. That's annoying. I don't even understand the point. Like, I've been an employee in retail, but a long time ago. I worked for Toys R Us for a little bit, right? Like, if someone's gonna steal from the store, I'm not gonna stop them. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't affect my pay. It doesn't affect anything. Like, that's the store's problem. I'm certainly not gonna go out and, like, profile people on top of that. Like, it's so stupid.
Happy? My card went through? So you can stop fucking watching us like I'm stealing. I just spent $900 on my debit card. You feel me? On my debit card. I don't need you watching me like I'm a poor person stealing out of CVS. No, you let that line get up to 20 people and didn't even go over there and help because you wanted to watch me. You wanted my attention. You got my fucking attention, Karen. Don't watch me like I'm no motherfucking thief. I don't fucking steal. But you had all them people line up. You had all them fucking people lining up. You didn't try to fucking help nobody. Because you was over here thinking about me. Now my shit just swiped. Now what? Now fucking what? No.
Holy fuck.
Now fucking what? There was a pregnant lady. You had a pregnant lady standing over there. And your number one concern was fucking racism. A fucking pregnant lady. Because you want to fucking watch me? My shit is white. You got my receipt? My shit is white. Would you like to check my receipt, Karen? Would you like to check my receipt, Karen? Now come here so the fuck away from me, bitch.
Oh, are people getting in trouble for having, like, a party during lockdown or something? And the cops are like, hey, you gotta get out. Dude spanking dudes with a bit. Watch people say the black woman was the Karen, yeah. Context, people. Context. People are gonna have their views colored by their prejudices. Yep, cops breaking up a party. Bunch of idiots. Wow, how many people are in this friggin' house? It's like a clown car bit. But with, like, Zoomers instead of clowns. It just keeps going. The cops should also be wearing masks. Like, are they not concerned they're gonna get sick? Cotton Candy 903. Oh my god, the amount of people is terrifying. Yeah.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Fined $100 per person? Not enough. Honestly. Screw those people.
I can call Jesus.
Oh no.
Oh, that's that spirit in you. Come on out.
So this Karen gets into a hilarious altercation with this guy. Check it out and see what happens next.
Get away from me.
So what the heck? Why is he speaking in tongues?
Get away. I don't. My father's already here. He's omnipresent. He's present. He's a present help in the time of trouble.
Oh God, it's like a Karen versus a weird evangelical Christian.
You're distressed.
I'm very can get somebody right now that can kick
I can call on Jesus. He answers prayer. He answers prayer. You leave me alone. You're getting closer to me. You're by my car, sweetie. You're by my car. You go and be great with your lavender. Go back to where you came from. Go on, sweetie. Get away. With your jerry beads. Go. Nobody's following you. You go. Go. You didn't have to say anything to me. I wasn't even talking to you. Oh my God. It's coming out of her. I can call my father Jesus. Jesus. How I love him and trust him. You go be great now, sweetheart. You're turning red from your back. Walk. This is a walk. This is a walk. You hold on to God, his unchanging hand. He promised, yea, I will never leave you, nor forsake you. He's here with you until the end of time. It's coming out of her. I dare you to scream, Jesus! Jesus. That's it. Jesus! No name above that name. Every knee shall bow.
That's a weird
all right.
one, but it's
Keep
funny.
On walking. Mary,
Cotton
Mary
Candy
said
903. This sounds
Mary,
kind of
Mary
like
said
that.
Mary said it.
Theophilus guy
You gotta
that
walk.
Logic
You gotta
talks
walk.
about. It's certainly not the
Thanks for
same
tuning
person,
in
but I
to
thought it was
another
interesting. I'm not
episode.
familiar. I haven't seen a Logic video in a very long time. I guess we're gonna do the natural man. Let's do the natural man.
No, ma'am. I stand as myself and speak for myself in myself. And I am not the trustee over the all caps name that you're operating on.
Well, you're here in court today because you were charged with some charges.
I'm here in court today because I am making a special visitation. This is not an appearance, only spirits appear. Living men, living persons make special visitation. That's why I'm here, to make sure that you guys don't tander my truthful, proper names.
Do you still live at 28 Flying Eagle in Manhattan?
That is a storage unit that I sleep in from time to time.
All right.
I live in myself in this body. I am the
There's
living
nothing
man.
funny about the tools of capitalism.
This is the best you can find of Living Man in court. Might have to look harder. I think I looked over this one before because it's hard to hear.
Rights to forage for food as a natural.
This one, I think I can hear it.
Arrest in violation of 457301 of the Montana Code.
Those men were
It's the
charged
same
by-
judge, but we haven't seen this one before.
nothing
It's
funny
just
about
the
the tools
judge
of
that's in his
capitalism.
like small area, I think.
by me right back by staging an overthrow of the Constitution of 1789, an overthrow of the Bill of Rights, an overthrow of my rights to forage for food as a natural living person who was in hunger. I was searching for something to put in my stomach, as I am recognized to be allowed to do by universal law, has nothing to do with your corporate fiction. They violated everything, and furthermore, for your knowledge, they violated Judge Holly Brown's Title 26 United States Code ruling, which I went before her and prevailed on 21st March 2011. DPO 9-58A is the case number wherein she evidenced that I am not a taxpayer because I am not a federal citizen. Federal law trumps state law at every turn. I have 9 judge rulings to that end, and that trumps state law.
Yeah, he's in trouble for not having a hunting license. He was hunting or fishing or something along those lines without a license, and that's why he's getting brought in. And he's saying, effectively, it's my natural right to be able to forage for food.
That
This
is
is not
what
Holly
stands.
Brown's courtroom.
Ma'am, you can argue this all day long. You're operating on a
telling-
corporate fiction.
I'm telling you, You're here on some
There's nothing
charges
funny about the
filed
tools of
through
capitalism.
I do not
Number
understand
one.
those charges.
Bumble Homestead
Number
of
one,
20
you
bits.
keep
I
interrupting
wouldn't be
me,
surprised
and
if
I'm
this
gonna
guy
charge you with
drives
contempt
this
and you'll
judge
go
to
to jail.
drink.
The court is spelled C-O-double-N. I know
Yeah.
the accounting. That's navigation.
Sir,
Contempt is the storm.
I said, be
Don't
quiet
touch me.
until I get
Don't
through
touch me.
reading
You
this
ain't a
to you.
god. Don't
Officer?
you touch me. I am the living man protected by universal law. You stand
talking.
down.
And you're going to be charged with contempt and you're gonna go to jail.
You have already contempted this place.
No, I told
by
you
the
I
fraud
would if
you're
you didn't
trying to
quit.
get done
Just rule contempt. Fuck this guy.
here. These are the living witnesses to what you're trying to do.
Very
You
good.
are trying to create a fictitious fraudulent action. You are trying to bilk the Federal Reserve by
Sir?
securitizing in all caps commercialized name
Sir?
and notifying
remove
them
him from the
that
courtroom?
they are standing in debt now. If you touch me, you will violate natural law. Do not come near me. I am
Then
protected
shush,
by the land.
shush.
Do not tell me to shut up. I am
Yeah, scream at the judge. That's gonna go well for you. Oh, God.
the living natural man, and my voice will be heard. That is the Jolly Roger. That thing you call the American
A Jolly Roger is like the flag pirates put up to be like, we're pirates.
flag with the gold fringe around it is the Jolly Roger, and you are acting as one of his privateers.
Okay, you're here on the charge of arrest.
I'm
resisting
here by
arrest.
special visitation.
Right. And you're
I've
here
never
on
let you get away with
obstructing
this.
a
You bet
police
I'm here.
officer. To each charge, could be up to a $500 fine, up to 6 months in jail.
I do not understand any charges. I only understand universal law and the right.
Where the heck is a social worker, right? Shouldn't the court be like, we need this guy to get evaluated because he's clearly not, like, right. You know what I mean? I guess there's a fine line in some areas between, like, outright having dysfunction and having a set of really, really out there beliefs, but I feel like this guy's teetering over enough that he should get looked at.
To live.
Well, you
To
pled
live in
not
peace
guilty.
and to live as I need to.
Like maybe a 72-hour evaluation court-ordered at a mental place would be ideal, I'm just saying.
Pled not guilty in this
I
court.
never plead. Animals plead. Sound like bah, oink oink.
I have a paper
What?
with your signature on it, sir.
It says prime evidence standing right through it. You bring
nothing
forward all
funny about
natural
tools
forms
of
of evidence that
capitalism.
I'm not prime evidence.
Just
I
to
am
clarify, the
living
living man
soil.
knows exactly what he's doing. I'm
The
sure
dirt,
he
the
is.
water, and the-
Well, if he's gonna act like a crazy person, though, then he should get held for like 72 hours and evaluated. Like, play stupid games, win
nothing
stupid
funny
prizes.
about
You're
the
gonna
tools of
act crazy? Fine, we'll treat you like you're crazy. This is sovereign citizen bull, Hannah. These people genuinely find themselves above the law. It's pathetic. Oh, I know. I know it's pathetic. It's just like, this guy acts like an insane person. So if he's gonna behave like a child who can't function in society, then he should be treated that way.
Air has its own voice, does it not? It all supports
Sir?
forms of life, does it not? I am a part of that life. I am not your corporate fiction.
Sir,
Do not taint me.
you're here today on an omnibus hearing. You've already pled not
I am
guilty.
here by special visitation to see to it that you do not taint my natural living man's name.
Are you prepared
That's
to
why
tell
I'm
the
here.
court if you wish to go to trial on this matter?
This is a trial. Tell
No,
me it's
this
not.
isn't a trial.
Here's my
This is
jury
an
of my
omnibus
peers.
hearing, sir.
You
There's nothing
cannot
funny about
produce
the
a
tools
jury
of
of my peers
capitalism.
because all juries
How do you reach
are
this level of
selected from a
entitlement?
pool of
I honestly
registered
couldn't
voters,
tell ya.
and the instant a person
I asked the
registers
same
to
question
vote,
about a
their
lot
natural
of
ability
people
to appear to
lately,
comprehend
and I
natural
don't
law
know.
has been dissolved and turned into fiction. There cannot be raised a jury of my peers. It cannot be done.
Excuse me for just a moment.
No way. Get
Is
back here
the
and
officer gonna
finish
arrest
this.
him?
Hey, get back here and finish this. The judge has left the courtroom. There you go.
You what?
Yeah.
There is nobody in this courtroom.
Yeah.
The judge has
Yeah.
left.
Look at that outfit. What a coat.
The judge has walked out.
I
Everybody up
said
and
no
out.
excuse.
Everybody up and out.
I'm not letting you
Up and
off
out.
the hook.
Up and out. Up and out. Follow the man. Case dismissed.
What's that? Great to see history here.
Thank you.
The description of this reads, Turtlegate appeared subdued and respectful before the Justice of Peace during Tuesday's court. subdued and respectful, screaming in her face. No. What the fuck are you talking about?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oh, we've definitely seen this one.
No, hang around. Let's go. Get out of here. Let's go. Don't dally. Let's go. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. I don't know. Come on. Where's the driver?
Well, she should have just held him in contempt. I really don't get the point. Why let this go on? So ridiculous. What else? Let's watch this Batman thing. This is,
Hello.
This is the mystery of the Batman. This is the earliest Batman on film. It's from the 1930s. Seen this lady?
Eternity, mother.
Does she use racial slurs? I cannot play it if she uses racial slurs.
I'm Michael Monroe, Dean of the Film Studies program at the Deaney College of Arts, and author of From Baghdad to Burbank, The Arabian Nights on Film, and What's in Your Cereal?
Apparently Doomcock is LARPing as a Nazi on BitChute. Yeah, I'm one of the people who covered that the other day.
The Buster Crabbe story.
I did like a whole hour-and-a-half dissection of it, like earlier in the week or last week. I don't remember when it was.
If I were to ask you who the first big screen Batman was, you'd probably say Adam West or Michael Keaton. Some might even be aware of the two serials released by Columbia Pictures in the 1940s. Well, it's my treat to introduce a real game changer, which has never publicly seen the light of day. Until now. Mystery of the Batman.
Oh, is this fake? This isn't the actual thing, is it? Hold on. Let me look. Oh, yeah. This is definitely something that got made recently as a joke. Hold on. 1940s Batman. Although that's probably a cool fan project that person did.
Metropolis of Gotham City.
There we go. This is the earliest Batman. Apologies.
Which ring the teeming metropolis of Gotham City, a large house rears its bulk against the dark sky. Outwardly, there's nothing to distinguish this house from many others. But deep in the cavernous basements of this house, in a chamber hewn from the living rock of the mountain, is the strange, dimly lighted, mysteriously secret Bat's Cave.
Yeah, I mean, that if you're gonna do a Bat Cave and you got very little budget, that's what you do. You put it looks like a cave, and you have a bat someone on a string swinging a bat, and then you have a desk. That's Batman's desk in the Bat Cave.
Hidden headquarters of America's #1.
Oh, the new emote got emailed. Hold on, let me switch cameras and let me get this for my email, and I'll submit the emote, and it'll be hopefully live soon. Switch to my face. Enjoy that. Let me go to my email to pick it up. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Doo-doo, doo-doo. What's this cleanse that you sent me as well? Hold on, let me look. Oh, it's lupine. Just gotta go to partner emotes and submit this new emote. I have a ton of emote slots I have to fill. It's a rhombus emote, in case you're curious. It's under review. Cool. You can just put links in the chat to videos if you got one. Who would win in a fight, Batman or Iron Man? Are we talking prep time, or are we talking they just run into each other? If Batman has time to prep, let's say Batman has a day, Batman wins. But if they just run into each other, Iron Man wins. For sure.
One crime fighter, Batman. Yes, Batman. Clad in the somber costume which has struck terror to the heart of many a swaggering denizen of the underworld. Batman.
How did no one see this and go like, maybe we need to light this differently? You can barely see Batman. He's completely blown out. It's interesting, too, that you normally think of Batman, like, cloaked in darkness, and the first time we see Batman on film, they're like, nah, just blow him out, so you can barely see what he looks like.
Who even now is pondering the plans of a new assault against the forces of crime. A crushing blow against evil in which he will have the valuable aid of his young
Bruce Wayne versus Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne.
Robin, the boy wonder. They represent American youth who love their country and are glad to fight for it. Wherever crime raises
Pseudo-Sapien,
its
thanks
ugly
for the
head
4-month
to strike with the venom
subscription
of a maddened rattlesnake. Batman and Robin strike also. And in this very hour when the Axis
In a better
criminals are
world,
spreading
neither
their evil
exists
over the
due to
world,
proper tax
even within our
law.
own land,
True.
Batman and Robin stand ready to fight them to the death.
These boxes are usually locked. I know it. Captain Arnold, please.
Isn't it weird to think about that back in the day they had to have police phone booths everywhere? Because if the police needed to get in touch with, like, the department, they needed to use a phone. Like, and they couldn't just have one. Like, it's weird to think about. Weird. I wonder what things like that in the future that we take for granted today will in the future people are like, that's a weird thing that they used to have. Are we Batmaning? Yeah, we're watching the first Batman on film.
Captain Arnold speaking. I have a nice little package for you. You'll find it at the corner of First and Maple. Heavily. Yeah, what's doing, Captain? It's the Batman again. He's at the corner of First and Maple. This time I'm going with you.
Calling car 67. 67.
That's us.
Go to First and Maple. A 702.
I'm warning you, Dr. Deck will make you regret this.
Shut up! Dr. Deck.
Batman just hanging out in Gotham in the daylight. Just like, yeah, I'm just gonna handcuff these guys to a pole in broad daylight. This doesn't look stupid.
Okay.
I love it.
Never mind, you'll find out.
Let's wait around and see Captain Arnold's face when he gets here. No time for that. Don't forget, I've got a date. Let's go.
Wasn't The Man Who Laughs from 1928 the inspiration for the Joker? Yes. Yes, he was. I'll put bat stickers on their head. That's how they'll know it was me.
Capitalism.
Thank you, Freaking Out 99. Robin, get me the shark repellent back spray. Cascadia 93. This is a form of acting that only makes me smile. It's so endearing, minus the horrible, sexist, racist world they lived in. True.
You'll recognize these as the last two men of the Collins gang. I know you've been looking for them for some time. The Batman. P.S. The keys to the handcuffs are in this one's pocket. Well, it looks as though the Batman has done you boys another favor.
Yeah. You ought to put him on a force.
You find him. I'll put him on.
Come in.
Hello, Linda.
Hello. I'm just finishing up. I won't be a minute.
Oh, no hurry. I'll just relax.
Do people not find it weird that Bruce Wayne's just bringing a teenage boy with him everywhere? I mean, I get, like, in certain versions where it's just like, I adopted this kid, which makes sense. Bruce Wayne, his parents died. There's some logic in him, like, adopting an orphan, right? I understand that. But, like, come on. This is my boy Ward. Oh, is that what you're calling it? Okay, great. Cascadia 93, sound design is my passion. Wind Chanter with a bit. Robin from the Adam West era had to fight Bruce Lee because he was Kano from the Green Hornet. I remember that. Didn't he always adopt Dick? Yeah, but like it's one thing to adopt a kid. It's another to be like, come on, Dick, I'm gonna buy you a suit and you're gonna come to my business meetings with me. Like it's just like odd, you know? Fun video essay comparing Joker and You Were Never Really Here. I don't think I've ever seen You Were Never Really Here, so.
Won so many prestigious awards, and it's the highest grossing R-rated film of all time.
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know anything about it. I can't watch it.
Let me settle my nerves.
Listen, will you keep your hands out of there? You've had your usual busy day, I suppose.
Yep. Up at the crack of noon, a brisk walk to the corner, and then the club for a rugged afternoon of gin rummy.
Maybe you'll be too tired to go with me tomorrow to meet Uncle Martin.
No, I'll be right with you.
Thanks. Oh, it'll mean so much to him to know that he still has his friends despite all that trouble he was in.
Only do me a favor, let's not start too early. I'm always tired in the morning.
All right.
You're liable to carry that masquerade too far.
Think so?
Yes, I do.
There was a huge controversy in the 40s, 50s about the homoerotic implications of Robin and Bucky Barnes, and it's partly why Bucky in the newer Marvel comics is so dark and buff to make him less twinky. I guess.
Depends on keeping our identity a secret.
Although Robin's been going along for the, you know, fine. DC didn't feel the need to, like, change Robin a ton. It happened more gradually over time, the same with Batman. So, I don't know.
Well, I don't keep people waiting like
Cotton Candy
someone
903 with 10 bits. Fun fact, the original Batwoman, not the lesbian one that most people think of, was created to stop rumors the Batman and Robin were in a weird gay relationship. She carried a bat purse and used very stereotypically feminine weapons. That sounds like
I think he's
humans to me. What a weird thing to do. How do we make people think Batman and Robin aren't gay? I don't know, make a Batwoman.
How early you want to leave, even if it's before noon.
Nice of you to make such a terrific sacrifice on my account.
I'm kind of bummed out they don't have a really good Batmobile here, because I don't think we've ever seen like a live-action version of the original Batmobile. I shouldn't say original. The original one wasn't very interesting. It was just like a car. But like the one from the comics with the bat ram on it. Let me see if I can find it. This one. Like, this one's pretty rad. It's just got a big bat head on it, and it's got a big ram. Like, we never really seen that. The original Batmobile was this. It was just like a red car. So. But, you know. The new Batmobile from the new, the Batman movie looks pretty cool, though.
That looks like Warren. Yeah, that's him. My old self.
No, Bucky's name is Bucky. It's Bucky Barnes. I mean, Bucky might be short for something. It sounds like a nickname, but I don't know what Bucky's full name is.
I know. You didn't think your old pal would remember you.
Woohoo Lulu, thank you for continuing your subscription. 3 months streak.
Oh, sure, I know. That's what we came to tell you. She couldn't make it. We're going to take you to her. Come on.
I think it would be cool someday, and we've had so many Batman movies, so I don't know if this will ever happen, but I think it would be really cool for someone to make a Batman movie that's like a period piece that takes place like in the 30s, like the original Batman comics. So like it has that version of the Batmobile, and it's more detective-y. Like, I think that'd be cool to do a Batman like that. They could call it like Batman Noir or something, I don't know. James Buchanan is Bucky's real name. Okay.
That looked like my niece in that car. You're seeing things, Marty.
Sargon
Right now,
whining
Marty.
about
You're
Shu
going with us.
being socialist.
Sit back and relax. Why, what do you want from me? You'll find out soon enough.
Has Mr. Warren left already?
Yes, ma'am. 2 men met him and they drove off in a black sedan.
Thank you. He drove away with some men in that black sedan we passed back on the road.
We'll get in. We'll catch him before he gets back to town. Get going, Alfred.
Then he got top.
I can't understand why Uncle
Do a
Mark
live
didn't wait
action
for it.
Gotham by Gaslight. I liked the Gotham by Gaslight movie. It was okay, but I didn't think it was great. I don't know if it's based on like comics that are good, but the animated movie I just thought was okay.
Hey, that car with a
Favorite
David is right
Batman's
back
always
of
been
us.
Batman the Animated Series. That is a good one.
We'll see if they're tailing us. They're speeding up, sir.
Drive a little faster, Alfred. They're trying to lose us.
I have a strange feeling that Uncle Martin is in some kind of trouble.
They're gaining on us. Can't you get any more speed out of this jalopy?
Do you think we can catch
Gotta
them?
love that like
Well, I hope
rear
we catch them before
projection
some steam
stuff.
job catches
They're out of sight.
I think everyone knows how this is done, right? You just have a car sitting there, and then you either, and then you like have a projected screen, and then from the rear you're projecting like an image of this onto it. So really they're stationary, and that's how they're filming this.
Release the gas and make the change.
That's how they did stuff like that prior to like compositing and green screen.
Hold everything. I'm going to turn around.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Here they come. Get down.
Batman Mask of the Phantasm takes place in the 50s? No. The animated series doesn't take place in the 50s. Mask of the Phantasm. Hold on. Batman Mask of the Phantasm. They never, like, pin down the exact dates of Batman the Animated Series. Because it's, like, supposed to be, you know, like, vague. It's not, you're not supposed to know the exact dates and stuff. Unless his parents' grave. Hold on. Batman's parents' grave. Mask of the Phantasm. They must have dates on them. Oh, no, it just says Wayne. So, no, I don't think they say the date in that. It's done in Art Deco. Yeah, but that's not, doesn't make it the 50s. That's a stylistic choice. Like, it's not supposed to be like, it's Art Deco, so it's the 50s. That's not the point. Yeah, the animated Batman had computers, and that's also the same Batman that's in the Justice League. And they have, like, fighter jets, and, because Hal Jordan, or not Hal Jordan, what the heck? Hal Jordan is referenced, but, like, there's the John Stewart Green Lantern, and they make, like, all sorts of stuff. It doesn't take place in the 50s. It's Art Deco, and that's a stylistic choice, but that doesn't make it the 50s. Batman. Oh, I can't play this. Nope. Can't play that. Gonna get DMCA'd.
Didn't give us a tumble.
Well, let him try to figure that one out.
They've disappeared, sir. No side roads. They just seem to have vanished.
Well, Linda, I guess your uncle wasn't interested in seeing us.
I can't understand his actions. Well, I guess the only thing to do is to go back to the hospital and wait for him to phone me.
Yeah, and find out how he did that disappearing act. I'd like to pull it sometime when my creditors are after me.
This was part of a foreign land transplanted bodily to America and known as Little Tokyo. Since a wise government rounded up the shifty-eyed Japs, it has become...
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Batman, no. I didn't expect that. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen this. That's bad.
Actually a ghost street where only one business survives, eking out a precarious existence on the dimes of curiosity seekers.
Oh no. The villain in this isn't gonna be a racist depiction of a Japanese person, is it? Because this is from the 40s. So...
There's nothing funny about capitalism.
Cotton Candy 903 with 10 bits. Mask of the Phantasm isn't canonical to the animated series. It's just the same cast and animation team. What? It has to be. It's like the same. It's the same. Everything's the same. How could it be non-canonical?
My friend was
They even reference it in, like, the Justice League. And that's in canon. Like in Justice League in the episode Epilogue, which is actually sort of a backdoor finale to Batman Beyond, we see the Phantasm in the future. So, like, it has to be canon.
Created by artists that know. Artists who have created some of the finest wax exhibits in all of England and France. Now, the price of admission is only 10 cents. Plus 1 cent tax for Uncle Sam.
I feel like this is gonna be yikes.
Not gonna have any trouble with you, Marty, are we? Now you're being smart.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
All right, gentlemen, right up these steps. And if when you come out you don't face the greatest exhibit you ever saw, I'll refund your money. All right, folks, who's next?
This is made for kids. Yep.
Just a minute, folks. I know you two want to ride low.
Oh.
End of the line, Marty.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
Still better than Channel Awesome cringe. Well, the Channel Awesome people are still alive, so... At least the racist who wrote this Batman film is dead.
Come in, Mr. Warren.
Oh, don't be a white guy, 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 don't be a white guy.
You're welcome to an honored guest.
The League of the New Order?
Yes, a group of men, all of them dishonored.
Oh, no!
I was convicted,
Oh,
yes. Sent to prison. But if the truth were known...
The fact remains that you have been dishonored. Exactly like our friend Mr. Fletcher here. An excellent architect, brilliant engineer. Except that some of his buildings did not quite come up to...
Fucking yikes, Batman. Holy racial stereotypes in Yellowface, Batman.
Now they are...
What do you want of me?
Oh, God. I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, this was fun. I'm so disappointed because this was, like, fun to watch up until this point. It's like, oh, look, he's got a Batman outfit and it's kind of silly, but, like, oh, it's endearing. And then you just gotta do this. Come on, guys. Why you gotta ruin early Batman? Why?
Heavenly ruler and prince of the rising
Freaking out 99 with a bit. His Japanese accent is just pinching his nose. What the fuck? Yeah.
To make way for the new order. An order that will bring about the liberation of the enslaved people of America. Each of these men, dishonored by your corrupt form of government, is a specialist in his line and have been especially selected by me to execute the orders I received from Tokyo. We need an industrialist to round out our circle. That is why I've selected you. If you cooperate with us willingly, you shall share in the glorious victory soon to be ours.
And if I refuse?
You have no choice but to accept. You will
To
work
Boldly
with
Flee
us
is a
or be
tour de
compelled
force
to
of
work
cinema,
for
and I
us.
want you to recognize
Therefore, it
its
should be
genius.
very
Don't
plain to
insult
you
the
that you should be
Lightbringer.
willing to help serve my glorious
Oh
emperor.
no.
Listen, Daka, for whatever your name is, I owe my allegiance to no country or order but my own. I'm an American first and always, and no
nothing
amount
funny
of
about
torture
the tools of
conceived by your twisted oriented
Here
brain will make
then,
me change my
2-month
mind.
subscription streak. Just got done with my university class and ready for some Hannah time.
not
Welcome.
believe in
Sorry
anything
we're
so
watching such an
barbaric
awful
as torture.
racist Batman thing. I didn't realize that's what this is gonna be.
Well,
Do we at least get more Batman in this? Oh god, no we don't.
nothing funny
Oh
about the tools of
no!
your former partner. He was
Highly
our
and
first
derp with a
choice
bit.
for
It's
the
doubly
position you
bothering
are
me that
about
even
to
their
assume.
racist Japanese caricature is made of
Unfortunately,
Chinese
he
stereotypes.
resist
Chinese
the
and
inevitable.
Japanese culture aren't super similar, I know.
There's nothing funny about the tools
I'll
of
stop
capital.
it soon. I'm very over this. Like they had a Buddha statue? Like, no, guys. No. You're not even stereotyping right. Okay, there's Batman. We can watch a little bit of the Batman bit. Like, oh, look, he's got a laser ray. Like, that's fun. The racist stuff is not. Why can't they just excise the racism from their fun Batman serial? Oh, Buddhism is Japanese? Sorry. I got confused. Nonetheless, makes me cringe.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
The Batman. Come on.
Mayor Usama says, I recently rewatched The Karate Kid. So did Baha and I. I think she had seen Karate Kid, but it had been a long time. She didn't remember it. And only now realized that Mr. Miyagi was in an internment camp and his wife and son died because no one gave a shit about them. It was effed up to see it again, yeah. I give him credit for putting that in the movie. It's like a kid's movie from the 80s, and that's in it. It's pretty crazy.
Marie, get the police here quickly.
I hope I'm still streaming in 45 years, so when the 1966 Batman goes into the public domain, we can all watch it together. Yeah, Batman has exclusively been going out during the daytime, too, which is very strange. I guess it'd be difficult to control the lighting if they were doing nighttime scenes, like, but still.
Come on, go ahead.
Dr. Dackett, the cops are heading for the hospital.
You get the radio.
I'll
Yeah?
show you guys
I
the
got the stuff in
Lupine
the
video
truck.
in a
I'm
second.
starting back now.
As a
We start at
cleanse.
1.
Oh god, okay. That's enough racist Batman. Sorry about that. I genuinely didn't know there was just like a super racist depiction of a Japanese person right in the middle of that. That's weird. Alright, let me switch the window capture so you can see the... It's in this. It's vertical because Baha decided to take a vertical video like an insane person. So you're gonna have to watch it like this. Oh, it's not even playing. I can't show this. It doesn't show VLC Media Player. I can't show you guys this video. Good job, Streamlabs. You nailing it. Maybe if I did a whole... What did I just move? Maybe if I did a whole... Hold on. Let me switch the window capture. Maybe if I do a display capture. Hold on, let me try this. Display capture, where are you? There we go. You can see that. This is our kitty Lupine. And this is the inside of my house. Please don't come and murder me. Because you can see the inside of my house.
Get it. Get him, Lupine. Get it. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Slurp,
capitalism.
slurp, slurp. Yes, more for my secret closet collage. Oh, God.
Are you confused? Are you confused? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the kitty. Okay, let me get rid of this display capture. There we go. Yeah, good point. Yes, she's overweight. She was overweight when we got her. She's on a diet, and she has been losing weight. So we know the cat is larger than is healthy. We're working on it. Animation of a crazy conspiracy. Oh, I've watched this. We watched the Human History movie. I've seen this on stream. It is crazy, though. What else do we got? Okay, what about this guy? Why I have no empathy for women. I have a feeling you have no empathy for just about anyone. You kind of seem like a sociopath from some of the other videos I've seen of yours, but okay, let's go.
Right after I made that video about incels and how I have empathy for them, I began to wonder, will people then ask me why I don't...
How hard is it to have sympathy for yourself? I just want to say.
...feel a lot of empathy for women. And the thing is, it's not really so much that I actually don't feel empathy for women. In fact, I actually understand where their mindset comes from a lot of the time. For example, especially like smaller women, you know, or like women in general. I remember one time, this was way back when. I think I was in high school.
I can't play the man
I remember
TV
I used to bring
thing.
in these kind
I'll
of
get
hand grippers
DMCA'd.
into school. And this one is actually a 200-pound hand gripper. It's like twice as strong as the one I used to have when I was a teenager. Actually, I still have it in my room. But I remember I was using it.
Yes,
and
this is the
one
pedo
girl, she wanted to
substitute
try
teacher
it,
guy.
like, play with it, right? And she tried her best to use the hand gripper, but she literally couldn't even make the thing move. Like, and then she like put it together and like tried to use her entire body to compress it, which even then honestly wouldn't even work. But then what she tried to do was it actually takes more effort to compress it this way than if you used it the correct way. But then what she tried to do was she pressed it against the desk and she put her entire body weight on it and it just didn't even move. And it was like, well well shoot, man. And I just grabbed it and I closed the hand gripper. And so it was in that moment I had realized the radical strength difference between like men and women, right?
there are going to be muscle mass differences on average, but when we're talking about individual people, there are people who are women who are stronger than people who are men. Like, even prior to myself, for instance, taking hormones, Baja Blast could kick my ass, right? Like, even prior to, like, coming out and being on hormones, I've always had really, really low upper body strength and lower body strength, strength in general, right? There are people who are women who are in really, really great shape and could kick the ass of your average dude. This is not crazy. This is things that happen in real life. Baja Blast. Alright, chat. I got it filmed Alright, I get it. I filmed vertically. It was a personal video filmed watching my phone. Didn't have any intention of sharing it. I didn't think about flipping the camera just because I was excited she was playing. Okay, we get it. We get it.
Like, it was never something I ever really thought about, you know, up until that point. But then I noticed, like it was just something intuitively known, but, like, the stark difference in the fact that, like, the whole of her body strength couldn't close this hand gripper, but my hand could. It was just like, well, shit, dude. It was just like, it was just night and day. It's the strength difference is just night and day. But then, as much as I empathize with women, and particularly smaller women, and, like, their fear of men, I remember one time there was I was in college, and I was walking back with a friend of mine, and it was really interesting because, like, as we walked around.
Nah, today we're not doing the wheel. We're just doing whatever, like, videos get sent to me. Is Charisma Saves tonight? Yeah, it is.
On the corner, she, like, looked both.
I'm not sure the exact time. We haven't gotten, like, a group chat message or anything. If I had to guess, probably around 8 though.
Ways to see.
I'm sure Jake will tweet about it.
And I was like,
when we know.
Wow, that is just not something I normally do. Interesting. Just to, like, the fact that, you know, she needed me to walk with her was just another thing that just, you know, again, it's all like intuitive stuff, you know, but you don't ever really think about, you know. And I thought
women do think about it. You don't think about it. That doesn't mean it's not a thing women think about all the time.
Thought about it. And I really did feel like empathy for like smaller women, and like they're just in the contest of strength between women and men. It's just men vastly, you know, eclipse women, you know. But then I realized, well, the vast majority of men don't want to hurt you, so it is wise to be wary. But if
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the vast majority don't want to hurt people, right? There's still people, like, how do I put this? What's a good metaphor for this? I'm sure the vast majority of great white sharks aren't going to attack me, right? Unless they're in a very severe situation where they either confuse me for a seal or they're very hungry. That doesn't mean I'm gonna jump in the water with one. You know what I mean? Like, and you don't, and again, yes, beta VHS, you don't know who wants to hurt you. That's the point. It's a fear. Yeah.
If you're with men that you trust, and if you're with good, honorable men, then you shouldn't have to worry too much about it.
Fuck you! Like, as if, like, people don't pass themselves off as nice, kind people, and then it turns out, oh, they're a date rapist. Like, how would you know? It's not like people be like, hello, my name is Michael. I plan on date raping you. Like, that's not how it works. What are you talking about?
And so while I empathize with women in that, you know, degree, at the same time, you know, being a man and, you know, being someone that doesn't particularly want to go around harming women for no particular reason, and seeing that the vast majority of men don't either, considering we live in a society, and
we live in a society. Can we get this guy cast in the Joker sequel?
Men are actually mostly the victims of violent crimes anyway, with the exception of sexual abuse, which even then is very particular, blah, 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 all that bullshit. It brings me to say this. It's not really so much that I don't empathize with women. I just don't empathize with women as much as I empathize with men, especially in particular.
Yeah, we know. You think women are trash. We've heard you talk about this before. It seems like you don't empathize or sympathize with women, like, at all, and you only view things through your own set of eyes. Like, I don't even think you're able to empathize with the majority of men. You just seem to have a very self-centered view of the world, and you're unable to see outside of that.
regards to like dating and male-female relationships. And there is only one overarching and simple reason why I don't mostly empathize with these degrees of women, and that is simply because I exist. Oh, don't worry, that'll make sense in a little bit. So,
oh god, he's trying to be like smug. He's like, don't worry, that'll make sense as I explain things later. That's not... Oh god.
Let's start off with this, okay? When it comes to a lot of the problems that I've noticed some women have mentally and emotionally, like when it comes to dating and being attractive, I
What's wrong, everyone?
admittedly
Jeremy from
have a very
Midwest
tough time
By the way,
co-signing with them. I made a video where
I do have
talked about
Jeremy
themselves,
pulled up.
and I
have to
originally
look and see what other stuff he has, though.
was going to title the video "Cry Me a River" because I just had no empathy for them. I just could not bring myself to feel what they feel and to accept this shit as a legitimate issue for a while. I mean, eventually I began to recognize that to them it's some degree of an issue, but excuse me, you'll see my conclusions in a second.
Wait, what's he
This
talking
shit
about?
has not me a river because where I talked about femcells, and I originally was going to title the video
female incels.
Cry Me a River because I just had no empathy for them. I just could not bring myself to feel what they feel and to accept this shit as a legitimate issue for a while. I mean, eventually I began to recognize that to them it's some degree of an issue, but excuse me, you'll see my conclusions in a second. But the reason why is because if I were to break down what a lot of these women's issues are, it all does just come back to, well, I exist. Don't worry, you'll see what that means in a second, okay, I promise. So let's talk about this one, because I thought this was a good example to start off with. Let's
He is so gross, I agree.
talk about body acceptance and body positivity and all of that, you know. You've got a lot of women who don't feel very attractive and they don't feel very pretty or beautiful, and you have some women who are clearly attractive and clearly beautiful who are just insecure beyond reason, right?
God, dude, it's gonna be subjective. Different people find different things attractive. If we're talking about, like, standards of beauty that society puts on people, you can probably put a metric on that, but even that's, like, based on marketing and shit to sell people beauty products they don't need, so...
And that insecurity can lie for a number of reasons, okay? It's a little...
Honestly, this guy could have a little more insecurity. Not a ton, just enough to make him like a human being with thoughts and feelings that reflect things other than his own self-aggrandizement. Like, that'd be good. Just give him, like, crank up his insecurity from 0% to, like, 5, and I think he'd be a better person.
more
propaganda.
Thank you to Robot Monster 1953 for following.
complex than what most people think it is, but you know, it's an insecurity I understand that exists, and it's even something that I felt and that I recognized, something that I said back in the incel video, if you guys caught that one as well. But when it comes down to it, there is a reason why I always felt that I just couldn't really co-sign with it too much and really feel as empathetic as I thought I could, and that was because, and you guessed it, I mean, I exist. So what does that mean? Well, basically, if you look at what the issue is, a lot of women are insecure about the way they look. But, like, why? Because they put a lot of value on it. But, like, why?
Society puts a lot of value on it. Because society is constantly telling women, you are beautiful or you are not beautiful, or your value lies in your aesthetic value to others. That's something that's, like, ingrained in our society. It's in almost all of our media. It's a constant deluge of messaging towards young women that, hey, it's great if you have a brain or whatever, but really your value lies in, like, oh, how pretty you are. You know what I mean? Like, what's the first thing a lot of especially older relatives will say if they see, like, I don't know, like a young... Like, let's say their niece or granddaughter comes like, oh, you're so pretty. Like, that's the first thing you say to them. Like, you're talking about them as a human being, and the first thing that always comes out of these people's mouth is, like, something about their aesthetic value. I think it speaks to our culture that that's something that happens. You can also see this in, like, every movie, in every TV show. This is a constant thing.
because they get perks out of it. They get something out of being attractive and being good looking. You know, and I think they all recognize it and everyone like sees it and understands it. But the thing that becomes really sillier still is all of the girls who are insecure and do feel ugly, half the time aren't even ugly or half the time aren't even unattractive.
I say this again, this guy also isn't unattractive. I think he could do to update his wardrobe because he's always kind of wearing the same old dirty t-shirts, and he could use like maybe a trim, both of his like hair and his beard. But other than that, like there's nothing wrong with this guy physically if we're talking about like beauty standards or physical attractiveness or whatever. This guy could get like a girlfriend if he was a decent human being, but he's not, and that's his problem.
And the reason why I just feel like there's not much empathy to be had for them, or at least I personally don't feel it, is because most of the time, a lot of the girls I meet who think that they're ugly or who think that they're unattractive, even if they are or aren't, are all girls that I would probably date anyway. You know what I mean? It's not even just girls that I would date anyway, but there would be girls I would date and I would be happy to date. And I'd be happy to look at her face every single day. You know what I mean? Like, so I see all these girls and they're upset about the way they look, and I'm just like, fam, like I wish I could date you. Like, I would date you tomorrow. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want about? Right? And so, seeing that
they probably don't want to date you, though, because you're an awful person. That would be why. Take care of yourself. Think about who you are. Start having empathy for others. Stop treating women like shit. Get a haircut, and you're fine. You're great. Also, probably get some new shirts. The t-shirts you're constantly wearing look like they're about 5 years past the point you should have thrown them out.
And it's not just me. So, I mean, I don't really even think I'm a particularly special individual. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's lots of guys who would just want a girl that just looks okay. I mean, just someone that they can look with without discomfort. You know, just someone that's okay. And I'm sure there's lots of guys who would definitely be with a girl that was ugly or unattractive or whatever, and then like still be with her just from strength of her personality and whatnot. And certainly, I mean, I've met guys who were like that. I was a guy like that, honestly. There's this one girl who I initially met, and I thought that she was a very unattractive person, but over time, the more I talked to her, the more, you know, we talked about different stuff and became friends, the more I was like, you know what, I could date that girl, and I would be happy dating that girl, you know what I mean? And I know I can personally get to that point if I talk to a woman enough and I like who she is enough as a person, you know what I mean? So, knowing that I exist, and that these girls aren't frothing at the mouth to come date me, I'm just like, well, fam, you have a direct solution to your problem, and you choose not to take it. I mean, when
it's because you're awful. The reason they don't want to date you in particular is because you're a bad person. Your personality is dog shit. You treat women like crap. And don't be like, well, if I was dating them, I'd buy her lots of things and I'd say nice things to her. Like, that's not the point. You don't treat women that you have no interest in like normal human beings. You treat women as a commodity, and that's why no one would want to be with you, because your worldview is fundamentally flawed and fucked up. Daddy Sume, can we move on? I want to watch something that makes me feel good or that we can laugh at. This guy just makes me angry and make me want to punch him in the face. I can't just bail out halfway through the video. I gotta cut these up on YouTube. Gotta get that sweet, sweet AdSense revenue.
Comes down to it, the long and short of it is, being attractive just means that people want to have sex with you. And if you can find someone who wants to have sex with you and likes the way you look, then you should just fucking accept that shit and just be with that person and then, you know, work on that relationship. But they don't. I mean, hell, I've met lots of girls who are like this, and like I said, they weren't frothing at the mouth to date me, so...
Because you're awful. Because you're awful! That's why!
You have a direct solution to your issue, and you choose to not take it. What am I supposed to do at that point? If you're a femcel and you get all these different guys messaging you, if you're just a normal, regular woman, and you get all these offers for guys to date you, and you choose that they're all inferior, or they're not good dating choices, well then at that point it's like, well...
Understatement of the year.
I mean, I got nothing for you, fam. Like, that's you. And that's why it's very tough for me to empathize with them. Like, for as much as some women, like, complain about, like, you don't see a lot of girls, like, call themselves fat. It's usually a particularly white woman thing. But, you know, they'll be, like, kind of slightly chubby, you know what I mean? It'll just, like, you know, they're not really even fat, you know? And even you'll find girls who are fat, you know, who are still have very attractive faces. And even if you're fat and, like, being fat doesn't make you ugly, by the way. You know, but let's say you're fat and you're ugly, right? You can definitely have a strong personality or a nice personality as a woman and still find some guy that wants you. You know what I mean? Like, you can do it. And when you live in a world like that, it's just like, well, fam, at that point...
Literally every argument he's making can be turned around on male incels. Literally every argument. Nothing about what he's saying is exclusive to women. If you're an incel... a man or a woman, or if you're like an NB incel, whatever, all of these things apply to you. Like, relationships are not these high bar things that only attractive people get into. Like, for one thing, I think the idea of objective attractiveness is incredibly stupid in the first place. There's a wide variety of different people in this world, and the wide variety of people who are attracted to all sorts of different things. Trying to judge yourself physically on some sort of objective scale and say that, like, oh, woe is me, I'll never be in a relationship because of this, or that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and you're trying to hold yourself up to a standard that is artificially created by society. Like, don't do that shit. It's unhealthy. Cotton Candy 903 with 100 bits. Why is a woman's humanity so hard to understand for these people? Oh my god, it's so basic. Why is this so hard? How do you get to this point? No idea. Oh, you should just date incels. Only men can be incels because any woman can be dated by anyone because incels are willing to date anyone. Daddy Sume says, I'm in a relationship for F's sake. I'm polyamorous. I have multiple people who are into me. You're just a douchebag. Yep. Yep.
You just have to accept...
people from all walks of life, all personality types, all body types have gotten into relationships. If you really, really find yourself in a situation where you cannot get into a relationship and you are interacting with people regularly, I understand if you're, like, socially anxious and you find it hard to meet new people. That's a completely different issue. That's not like an incel issue. That's just like you need to figure out a way to, like, get out and meet people and be more comfortable in social settings. And that's a completely different issue for a completely different day. But I'm talking about people who, like, do find themselves talking with people, reaching out to find relationships, whether it be on Tinder or in real life or on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, wherever you happen to meet people and you just can't find someone after a really, really, really long period of time, it's entirely possible there's something wrong with the way you behave, right? Like, I'm not saying you're going to get along and in a relationship with every single person that you happen to come across, but, like, over enough time, you're gonna find someone who you click with if you're not a shit person, right? I don't know.
Accept yourself, and it's like, no one can really help you with that problem but you. Even if we lived in a society where where we accepted body positivity and all this fat, you know, acceptance, and we accepted all these ugly people or whatever with women, and we didn't care about beauty standards. Let's say we had that. I mean, at the end of the day, like, if you don't like you...
Oh, the rhombus rights emote is in. New emote, folks.
You don't like you.
Which won't make sense unless you watched the Tinfoil Tuesday from this last week.
I can't make you like you, no matter how much I compliment you, no matter how much I'm there for you, no matter how much I'm around you. I've learned this numerous times. I can't make you like you. So, what am I supposed to do at that point? It's nothing I can do. It's up to you. And so, at that point, it's like, meh. And so, and I know it sounds kind of cruel, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's incredibly positive that as a woman, if you feel unattractive, you can find people who find you attractive and then just go talk to them and just go hang around them. I can't do that as a man. Like, I can't.
Yeah, here's the rhombus clip if you missed it. Daughter of Tiamat with 100 bits. Rhombus was just a square.
Right? I haven't seen any rhombuses. I think that's like a
This guy was talking into conspiracy theory. He was saying, like, all stars are secretly pentagrams. And why aren't people sick of stars, right? And that's what he's saying there.
Right? I haven't seen any rhombuses. I think that's like a arc.
Oh no! I spit soda over everything! Bah! Give me a paper towel! Oh no! Oh!
Nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oh no! It's gonna be so sticky! Ah! Dang it! So that's that, in case you missed it. That's what the rhombus thing comes for. Justice for rhombus. We need more rhombuses. This is a Reddit post, I guess, from Top Minds of Reddit. We know why cancel culture scares them so much. It's like when your grandma used to can her own veggies with human souls. Oh god. From Globe's Skepticism, which I'm assuming is maybe a flat earth subreddit or something that's like anti-globalism, and with globalism in the 3 brackets. Like fishing for human souls, they take your imagination to space so they can take your soul to hell. Yeah, this is a flat earth thing. That's why it's called the Soul Lure system. No, it's because the star at the center of our solar system is called Sol. It's the solar system. Ugh. Everyone who has ever said solar system has said soul lure system, even if they aren't aware of it. Words are magic. It's all in the spelling. Sure, I'll agree on the spelling. Solar and soul lure aren't even the same words, though. The pronunciations aren't the same unless somebody chooses to pronounce them incorrectly. Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree is one of my least favorite overused phrases. We can agree to disagree on, like, oh, do you like oranges? Do you like sweet tea, or do you like just regular tea? We cannot agree to disagree on facts. Facts are facts. Yeah, that's from a flat earth subreddit. Cotton Candy 903 with a bit. These people don't grasp that if you're just a decent person, women don't care what you look like. I don't even know, like, even making generalizations that much, I wouldn't make. Like, there are all sorts of different people. Some people are going to care about, like, certain standards of what people look like, but some people won't. Like, it is what it is. Human beings are complicated, and they aren't all one thing or another based on their gender. So I don't understand where all this idea is that, like, it's impossible to find a girlfriend because they're all this or they're all that or whatever.
I can't just put my picture up and say, hey, give me attention, and have a bunch of girls, hey, give me attention too. Like, that shit will never happen. There'll never be a situation where I do some shit like that, you know what I mean?
Stone Corbell with 20 bits. Agree to disagree is just another way of referencing that meme. Had it not been for the laws of this land, I would have slaughtered you. What?
And so, that's something you got that I don't have, and so I have a very tough time empathizing when you can do that, and I can't. Moving forward, let's talk about, like, the actual, like, actually having relationships, right, and actually being with good people. And I see girls, like, this is actually a hilarious example, because I always do this, not really so much because I want to date the girl, because I don't, but mostly so at some point she attained some degree of self-awareness. But this one girl, like, will post constantly on Facebook. The shit is just fucking obnoxious at this point.
Your first problem was having a Facebook account. If you have a Facebook account, delete it immediately. Daddy Suman with a bit. Oh, you can whistle. I can't really empathize with you because you can do something I can't.
About how she wants a relationship and how she wants some man to come in her life.
I need to delete my Facebook, specifically because it also has, like, my dead name, and it's still a picture of me with a beard, just because I never use Facebook.
And yeah,
it's trash.
Yeah, you know, you guys all are aware of people like this. And it's interesting, because I always tell her, I
Koyatree says, I wish I could delete Facebook, but my family members don't use anything else. Fuck them! Just delete it! If they want to get in contact with you, they can either text you or send you a letter. You're not obligated to be on a platform to keep in contact with them when that platform is awful.
Say, hey, look, man, like, I'll talk to you seriously if you want. Like, I'll you know, try to date you seriously. And then she would tell me that, honestly, I just feel like I'll walk all over you. And then I'm just like, well, okay, you won't, but whatever. And I just throw my hands up and say, well, that's it. That's all I got. I offered you, and you said no. And that's why I have a very tough time empathizing with women that have had bad relationships. Because I exist. I mean, okay, fine. Like,
why? Being with you would just be another bad relationship. You get that, right? You're awful. Why would they be with you? You are awful. You are not you're acting like, oh, you're so hungry. Why? I'm a perfectly good, McDonald's Big Mac, hot and piping from the whatever. Why don't you come and eat me? When really you're like a 3-week-old hamburger on the ground. That's why. It's because you're not as good as you think you are. It's because you aren't worth anything as a partner because you're evil.
I know I keep saying that shit, but seriously, I don't really think I'm a particularly special individual. I don't really think I'm the greatest person who ever lived. I really don't. But at the very least, I'm someone that has always cared earnestly about the women I've tried to date. I mean, I've really, and I've loved women deeply, and it's always been one-sided, and I've always cared about them quite a bit. And even if I fuck up, even if I say something mean, I always come back and I always apologize, and I always try. I always care about them, and they just didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. It didn't matter how much I liked them. It didn't matter how much I appreciated them. It didn't matter how much it didn't matter. Whatever. Maybe.
No, dude. I've heard how you talk about women. Zero chance you treated people you were in relationships with respect, because you don't respect women as people. And that's the bare minimum, right? On top of that, there are other things, but the bare minimum for decent human being in terms of relationships with women, making sure you recognize they're human beings with their own thoughts and feelings that are just as valid as your own.
In the recesses of their minds, they thought about it or they felt bad. I wouldn't know. I have no idea. But what I do know is they never dated me. They never said they gave a fuck, and they never really even tried to stay in contact with me, or they didn't care. So at that point, it's like, well, fam, I exist. You see all these women complain about their awful, shitty relationships, and initially when I was younger, I used to feel really bad. I used to be like, man, damn, that's awful. You don't deserve that. But over the years, and after constantly being rejected over and over again by those same girls, mind you, I'm just like, well, you had the choice and you said no. At that point, why should I feel bad that your relationships are awful? Why should I even accept?
I'm sure this guy's not going to regret this tattoo ever, right? I'm sure that won't be something that labels him as a dipshit for life.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Cascadia93, quote, I dated 2 women of the species. They both were quite distant to my disgusting personality. Therefore, no females deserve respect.
That men are terrible and awful in general when you were given the option to pick someone good and you said no. Why should I take your commentary on men seriously at that point?
Why would anyone take your commentary on women seriously when none want to be around you because you disrespect them at a fundamental level? What?
It's interesting. We're supposed to listen to these women complain about men in general, about how terrible we are and how we're all fuckboys and everything, and it's like, you present them, hey, here's an awesome human being to be with. Oh, but he's too short. Well,
Some people have standards where they want to date someone over 6 feet, and that's their business. I don't begrudge anyone to have certain standards for themselves in relationships, but to act as though everyone's standards are the same is delusional. Are there women out there, and probably men out there, who are only interested in people who are of a certain height, whether it's high or low? Yeah, I'm sure there are. That's fine. That doesn't mean there are no people out there who don't care how tall you are. This is not something that prevents you from getting in the world of dating.
Oh, well, he's too skinny. He's too scrawny, Well, he's not dominant enough. If he's not any one of those other things, it's like...
It's like you expect every woman to find you attractive. No. No one in the universe is attractive to every single woman or man. It's just not a thing. So some people are going to be into you physically, some people aren't. Like, the ones that are, you then can maybe talk to them and figure out if you click on a person-to-person personable level. That'd be great. But I assume by the time you get to that point, they realize what a shitbag you are. This is the same guy, by the way, who, like, was talking about how it's completely fine to be attracted to, like, 14-year-old girls. Like a sicko. Of course people don't like you. You are fricked up in the head. Daddy Sume with a bit. Hannah, you obviously never met Patrick Stewart.
Well, nigga, that's you. Like, that's not us. That's not men. That's you. And how am I supposed to have empathy for your shallowness? I don't empathize with that because I'm not a particular...
I don't even know what women he's talking about, because zero chance this dude talks to women outside of maybe the students at the high schools he works at, which is, like, really weird if he's talking about them. Like, what women are coming up to you and talking to you about their bad relationships?
Shallow person. In fact, I spent most of the ad late.
Cotton Candy 903, like, dude, I'm just interested in being with a decent person. Your availability doesn't obligate anyone to you. Yep.
Your earlier half of the video explaining.
His problem is that he assumes he's a good person, and he's not.
How I'm not shallow. I'd date a fat girl any day of the week if she was a kind human being, and I'd date a short Asian chick any day of the week if she was a kind human being. But they decided that they don't want me. I don't have girls beating down the door to get to me, so...
It's because you're, like, an asshole. It's because you're an asshole. That's why.
I'm supposed to care about how you got, fucked over by all your different boyfriends. I give you the option to talk to someone who is going to care about you and love you and be there for you, and you were like, sorry, no? Well... And then at that point, that's not me, dude. That's you. And that is why, my friends, I just have a tough time empathizing with women and their male problems. It isn't to say that they aren't serious, because they are. And it isn't to say that they don't need solutions, because they do. It's just that a lot of the time those solutions are just onto them accepting the fact that they need to change, or them accepting the fact that they need to do something different. And the only...
Irony levels 1000. Hey, bud, have you considered that if you want to be in a relationship with a woman and you haven't been able to successfully do so for any period of time, it's possible that it's your fault? It's possible that actually the reason people aren't attracted to you has nothing to do with the way you look and everything to do with the way you treat them and the way you view women? That's something you need to work on.
The only thing I can ever do is just bring it to their attention and say, hey, you gotta do something different, which I do in a lot of the YouTube videos that I make. That's a huge portion of it all. But as far as it goes, do I empathize with them all that much? No, not really, because I exist. And I don't see any of them frothing at the mouth to come be my wife, so...
Because you're bad. Because when they're talking about dudes who are awful in relationships, you're the kind of person they're talking about. Cotton Candy 903. Have these people ever heard of the saying, practice what you preach? I guess not.
Well, that being said, I really hope you guys got something out of today's video. And if you did, man, yeah, go and click the like button. And should go and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comments below.
God, 39,000 subscribers for this trash. I better surpass him someday in terms of subs on my own YouTube channel, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy. Like, what an asshole. He has another channel? Oh god. Oh, 4 years ago is the last time he posted on here, though. On his suggested channels, the first one under his own is Sargon. What a shock. Anyway. What's this?
But interestingly enough, studies show that if you have between 104 degree or 108 degree nasal tip rotation, those are the ones that are considered the most beautiful, and hers is 106.
Somebody in here to measure our nasal tip rotation.
And then we know if we have the most beautiful noses.
But symmetry is what they say is the eye of beauty, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
requested eyelids.
What else? What do we got? Let's do another Karen freakout video.
You're telling me, a woman of color, and I'm a woman of color, be a good little slave. I'm a Mexican.
Make sure to watch the full video.
Doesn't matter.
You do not want to miss what happens next.
Welcome back to Endless Uploads.
Welcome to another episode of the craziest Karen freakouts. Today's show features some of the best public freakout videos caught on camera entitled "Shut Up." So our first Karen gets extremely upset when she is refused service at a nail salon. She goes on a huge rant and actually calls out the business for not keeping the place clean. Let's watch the full video to see what happens.
Take my do my nails, okay. Okay, with y'all filthy place, the nasty sinks. Yeah, watch. Y'all don't wash the sinks out, look at the damn shit on them. I'm gonna put y'all on the news channel. Get y'all fucking ass closed down. Nastiness all on the sink, look at the gut. They don't even wash it out. I got a fungus on my feet right now. I won't get my fucking feet done in here no more, you nasty asses. Y'all think we pigs? We ain't no damn pig. We human beings just like y'all. And if you're running a business, you're supposed to treat us right. I'ma get y'all. Y'all watch. Look at the fucking chairs. Ain't shit working. The shit is dirty, unsanitary.
Just because it's ripped doesn't mean it's unsanitary. It just means it needs to be reupholstered.
Look at this shit. We gotta come in here. Sorry, y'all can cover your face whoever want to. I'm sorry, but I'ma get y'all. Y'all watch. You hear me? This ain't. I bet y'all gonna close down or y'all clean this shit up. Cause y'all ain't gonna treat me like I'm nobody. I come in here, you gonna tell me you ain't gonna take me, you nasty bitch.
Why are you worried that they're not gonna take you as a customer if all you're doing is complaining about how dirty you think it is? Why would you want to go there anyway if you think it's dirty?
And that's what I'm saying on here. She's a nasty bitch because they taking my money. Look at the filth on this shit. And we gotta sit here and put our nails in it. Nasty fuckers. I'm gonna close y'all ass down. I'm going to Charles Barron's office. My Congress people, I know how to do this. Okay? Next. Now somebody wanna do my nails or not?
That's why I don't take this lady seriously. Like, if you really think it's disgusting, go report the business. But you want your nails done. You're just trying to threaten them because you want your nails done and they're telling you no for some reason. I don't know what the reason is.
You want to do my nails?
Oh, she coming now. She coming now.
Tell me who's going to do my nails. You want to discriminate? Who's going to do them? Who going to do my nails? Yeah, discriminate. Come on, keep treating us like we ain't nobody. We come here for our nails, our eyelashes. Sometimes it costs $30. The eyelashes are $20. We could put it on ourselves. They treat us like shit because we black people, Latino people, in the lower class community. They treat us.
Why do you assume this is a race thing? There are plenty of things that are race things. I don't think this is one of them. Cotton Candy 903 with a bit. Can't you just go to a different nail salon? Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand if the business actually did something and you don't like it, or if you actually think it's dirty in there, or whatever variety of things could cause you to not like the nail salon. That's fine, though. Then leave and go find a different nail salon. There are probably multiple nail salons in your area. In my area, there are nail salons around in different places. Most places that are like areas with lots of people will. So why are you so concerned about this one in particular? It just seems like you're salty that they refused you service for some reason. And based on the way you're behaving, it was probably your fault.
It's like we a piece of shit and you can't put your hands on me.
This idiocy is going on around Facebook. Let me see. Wake up. Suppose it's a complete coincidence that fires are only on U.S. soil. Oh my god, people are stupid. I hate people so much.
Watch. If you don't want to be in this, please cover your face. Close this bitch down. Close this store down. They treat us like hell. They treat us like shit. Look at the sinks. Look at the nastiness. The filth. Backed up all in the chairs. Look at this.
Tetsuyo Dragneel with 5 bits. The other nail salon would kick her out too. She mentioned at the start that the others can wear masks if they wanted, which I assume means she's not. There are too many people in this nail salon in the first place.
Shit.
If this is during COVID times.
Then they take our money, tell us, sit down, shut up, I got you. Be quiet. How you want it? I want it like this. No. You get it like that. They want to tell you how you should get your nails done, and you paying for it, because they got attitudes.
Other people aren't wearing masks,
to the next
though.
Customer. They don't take the patience and the time out. They're unprofessional.
Oh, people think it's space lasers that are causing the fires?
Look at our people. And they treat us like shit. I'll go somewhere else. Watch. 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 Okay,
please leave, yes.
Watch. Watch. Mess with me when I come in here again. When I come in here again, I expect to get service. If I do not, this will happen again.
So she's already saying she's gonna come back. So why? You better serve me next time or I'm gonna throw another tantrum like a child. Okay, you do that, lady.
And y'all will see yourself on TV. Help me, Howard, or something, because this is gonna stop in my black community where we people live and y'all treat us like smut. Good day.
We have a couple things going on.
So our second Karen is very upset when she spots workers not speaking English while on the job.
This is permanent, what they're doing in Nashua, New Hampshire. This is permanent. Look at this. They are putting, look what they're putting in here. Look at their putting. They have taken over 2 lanes. Look at this. So they took over all the parking right here, right? Right? So they did it in stages. See how you have the parking spot here where these chairs are, and then
okay,
it
they're
juts out
doing
the sidewalk
construction
there.
or something.
This is done in stages. Look at their building.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Excuse me, how come you're speaking Spanish?
Oh my god. Fuck you, lady. Cotton Candy 903, did she not notice the other people of color in the salon? I don't know. Because they're probably, like, Hispanic. Like, that's fine. I don't know if people know this, but in case you need to know this, America has no official language. Most people in America speak English, but it's not like the national language or anything, right? Like, it just seems incredibly stupid to get mad and salty about people speaking a language that's different from your own. Like, who cares? We live in a world full of all kinds of different people with all kinds of different languages, and what kind of weirdo gets upset about someone speaking a different language adjacent to you? It's not even like they're talking to you. Not that it would matter. All you'd say is like, oh, sorry, no hablo español. Like, that's it. That would be the end of the conversation. But it's not even that. She's literally just like, I don't like that people are speaking a different language near me. Everything isn't about you.
But aren't they in America? Yeah. So shouldn't you be speaking English? Okay, but it is America.
Okay, then why are you speaking with a feckin' Boston accent? How about you speak a transatlantic accent, because this is America.
It is America. You should be speaking English. You should be speaking English. They work for the state. You should be speaking English. What do you work for? Oh, so are these people? Is English. Doesn't matter. It's still English. It's English. 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 Is anybody here illegal?
About the tools of capitalism.
Cotton Candy 903 with 10 bits. Some people have mental disorders that prevent them from learning a second language. Sure. There's a ton of reasons people might not know 2 languages. I don't. I only speak English, right? Like, who cares? Who cares? It's great to learn 2nd, 3rd languages, whatever. It can be good for your brain. But, like, if someone's not speaking your language around you, who the heck freaks out about this?
Are these guys illegal? What's the name of this company? Look at this. Look at this. It's America. Speak English. Speak English. So this is a foreman working for this company, Morans. And he's speaking Spanish to these guys. So your tax dollars up here in New Hampshire. That's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. That is what's going on. So now they have people who don't speak English who are putting in this stuff that taxpayers are paying for. And look what they're doing. This is
and who cares?
Communism. This is communism.
Communism is when people don't speak English around me. I swear to God. What do these people think communism is? Did she say New Hampshire? Yes. Yes, she did.
They're taking over these streets. What they're
Cotton
doing
Candy
up here
903.
in Nashua
My grandmother
is
speaks
permanent.
German to all her friends. Oh, I'm sure Karen wouldn't care about that. Because your grandmother's white.
So here's a private company that's speaking to the people in this company in Spanish.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm sure they're being paid by taxpayers in New Hampshire.
And they're doing the job that they're being paid to do. So fuck off and mind your own business.
So look up this company and find out if they hire illegal aliens.
How's that gonna go? And the website. Oh, by the way, we hire illegal aliens. Like, who cares? Who would care if they did? I don't care.
Because that's what we need to do. This is BS. Morans, Hollis, New Hampshire. There's their phone number, 603-882-5835. So that's what's going on. They're taking over the streets. Look, they're doing it on both sides. So now they have permanent...
15 minutes for you not to know English, not to get it right the first time.
Another person who's mad about people not speaking English.
Customer is always right. That's how it works here. And I don't have time for this. I don't have time for 15 minutes of you two being rude, talking about whatever it is you're talking about, in whatever language it is that you're speaking, okay? This is America, and you get it right the first time. You get it right the first time. Get it right the first time. Get it right the first time, okay?
We missed the funny part. She tries to push instead of pull. I'm sorry, Karen. I thought you're supposed to get it right the first time.
You see, you crossed the line. I crossed the line. You don't know a damn thing. Go back to China where you belong. You fucking asshole. Chinky, chinky China lady. Chinky.
Holy shit. What is wrong with people? I mean this. Like, how many of these people are racist? I mean this. Like, people above 40, and I know there are people below 40 who are also racist, but I'm specifically talking about because these Karen videos are almost always women over 40, and sometimes men over 40. Like, where is this deep-seated hatred of people who are different from them coming from? I don't get it. Like, are people younger just, like, not as racist because we grew up on shit like Captain Planet, and there's, like, all sorts of different people, and it's like, hey, it's okay to be different, and that's a message we were given. Meanwhile, these people were raised in an environment where that wasn't a thing. Is that why? What is the reason for all this? It's so bizarre.
You know what? You give the people a bad name here. We hate you people. Go back where you belong. Fuck you. Fucking cunt.
I guess I verify you about 12, but I need the actual process it. I can't return something that's not in front of me.
So that Karen really just threw a whole bunch of shoes at this employee because she wouldn't give her service without wearing a mask.
is your name? What is your name, ma'am?
You just told me be a good little slave.
You're wearing your mask like all the rest of the slaves out there.
You're telling me, a woman of color,
and I'm a woman of color
be a good
too.
little slave.
I'm a Mexican woman of color.
Doesn't matter. You don't say that. So that should be just as offensive to you. What's wrong with you?
Because I don't
Good
believe in skin
example
tone.
for your children.
Because we're all humans.
Good example for your
because
children.
We're all humans.
Good
and there's
example
no such
for your
thing as
children.
A different race.
Good example for your children.
Go ahead, lady.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Move! Move!
Get off my ass.
I'm not even on your ass. I'm trying to move.
Get on my ass. It's back there, so get off my ass.
Oh my gosh, I honked at you because you didn't go. Is that against the law? No, it's not. It's not against the law to honk at you.
Excuse me. I just want to talk with someone who owns this jacket.
Oh. Vicky, is that your jacket?
Yeah? Is this your jacket? Yeah, I was wondering that how kind of animal lover can wear this kind of jacket.
Oh no, is it like a leather jacket
you're
and
working
she's
at-
mad? Oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like that.
Anyways, I'm really busy here now.
Yeah, I understand that, but I just want to let you know that this is dogs, same as the dogs that you work to keep them safe.
I understand aversion to like leather as a clothing option if you're like vegan or you just don't like animal product use in general. I understand that. I completely get it. However, you're not going to change someone's mind by going into their office and being like, "Excuse me, is this your leather jacket? Did you know that they killed an animal for this?" Like, yeah, people know where leather comes from.
If you want, I can.
Thank you very much.
I just hold on. I just want to give you something. So.
I'll take that.
No, I
Vicky's
just-
busy right now. If you can please leave our office.
I understand that she's busy.
Okay, and we can talk to her here if you want.
I want
Vicky's
to talk with her. I just want to give this
you
to
need
her.
to leave my office right
and
now.
I just want to look inside of the eyes of these dogs that
Okay,
they
thank
just killed, tortured because of your
Ma'am,
jacket. It doesn't
We work
matter.
our butts off here to help animals.
I understand.
You
it
need to
doesn't
leave my
mean
office
that
right
it's
now.
gift. She can take off the fur.
You need to leave my office right now.
I'm not leaving here.
You're not leaving
I
here.
just want to give this to her and then
And I'll
can
take
leave.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, can I?
No, absolutely not. I'm taking another step into my office.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you that you're working here because you don't
Ma'am, you need
care
to leave
about
my
animals.
office.
You just work here because of money.
You need to leave my office.
Okay, I'm leaving, but
I also don't know what the animal welfare organization this is. Like, it's entirely possible it's an organization that deals with, like, pet welfare or something. And, like it or not, a lot of people draw the line morally between, like, chattel animals, like cows and sheep
There's
and
nothing
stuff,
funny about the tools of
as
capitalism.
distinct from what we consider pets. This is all going to be, like, socially contextual. Like, what we consider a pet here in the States isn't going to be the same everywhere, but, like, nonetheless, people do draw lines, even if they are arbitrary lines. So to call them a hypocrite, well, it might be accurate depending on what the actual animal welfare organization is. Like, why pick that battle? Why that hill to die on? Fake leather products are a thing. I agree, and I think it's probably, well, that's a questionable thing, though, because I think fake leather products are made of petroleum, so I don't know what, like, the environmental, like, product of that is going to be. I don't know. It's complicated. Morality is complicated in this day and age. Go watch The Good Place. They go into this pretty well. How hard it is to, like, decide what is ethical behavior or ethical consumption, you might say, considering how many factors we need to take into consideration when consuming different kinds of products.
she's working here because of money. Okay. The lady who is working there, she has a fur coat that makes from the coyote
the same animal that you're taking care of here. I just wanted to give
If
her
she
the
is wearing a
quality.
coyote skin coat, that's fucked up. Fur is a whole other level of fucked up on top of, like, leather. And I know that's weird that I'm drawing that distinction, but it does feel different to me. I don't know why.
Says that you can't just go into the office. It's really shame of her.
Jesus.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Maybe it feels different to me specifically because, like, cow materials already getting used for, like, meat and stuff, and so it's just using materials that wouldn't already. But, like, if you're getting, like, a fur coat, there's a good chance that animal was bred specifically to kill for its fur, and that feels grosser to me for some reason. Cotton Candy 903 with 10 bits. My personal opinion on leather is that if they've already culling the animal for food, might as well recycle the rest of it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. My views on ethical consumption of animal products are flexible. I don't know. Because I've said this to Baja Blast, and I know she doesn't like when I say this because it upsets her more that I feel this way. But, like, I recognize that veganism is probably the moral position, right? I recognize that it is more moral to not take animal products and eat animals than it is to not do so. Nonetheless, I do it. And that upsets her. And I understand why that upsets her. Because if I understand that, why don't I carry through with it? Because even though I understand it, I don't know. I don't know. It's just not something I feel the need to take action on. I don't know.
You're so big.
Hi, fellow white people. Are you having a sad because that family's enjoying a picnic in the park while being black? Did that customer in front of you just speak a language that makes you irrationally angry? Well, this is a great time to try. Mind your own f***ing business. With Mind Your Own F***ing Business, you'll be able to grow the f*** up and act like a decent f***ing human being. Our patented technology allows you to pull your head out of your ass and see the world beyond the brim of your MAGA hat.
Hi, honey. I saw some black people at the Starbucks today.
Did you mind your own f***ing business?
I sure f***ing did.
Stop bothering those nice people today with Mind Your Own F***ing Business.
Side effects may include not harassing people, no one getting arrested or murdered by police, a general sense of well-being for people of color, a lack of internet fame and or trolling and coexistence. Please consult your doctor if you are still a piece of after minding your own f***ing business, as the symptoms may be a result of a deeper problem and require further treatment.
Now available at Anthropology and Whole Foods.
Funny.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Cotton Candy 903 with 10 bits. The consuming of animals is really too complicated a situation to have a black and white opinion on. I don't know. I really don't. Like, I'll put it this way. If lab-grown meat were a thing that was available for consumers readily and relatively cheaply, even if it's more expensive than regular meat, I don't get, like, hamburgers that often. Like, so it's not, like, a big deal if I have to pay, you know, twice the price or something. I would do so rather than getting meat that is from an actual animal.
There's nothing funny about
and
the tools
I mean
of
from,
capitalism.
you know, taken from the killing of whatever. But, like, how many bits do you need to pay to stop this convo? I know. I'll be done in a second. But, like, and I would prefer to, like, eat meat that's, like, ethically sourced, but I don't feel strongly enough about it to stop me from eating meat currently, or eating cheese, or eating eggs. I don't know. It's complicated. Oh no. Educational video about women in the workplace. This is gonna be bad. Oh no! Oh no!
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Trying Impossible or Beyond Burger as a non-vegan, I wasn't too disappointed. I've had them. They're good. They're not as good as actual meat burgers, but they're like 75% of the way there.
No, Betty, that's wrong. Let me show you again. You use this control, get your focus, you see? All right, and this one here in the right-hand corner to lock the sweep. There we are. Now let's try it again.
Well, there's someone here to see you. Are you Mr. Bradshaw, the foreman?
Yes.
Mr. Donnelly up in personnel said for me to give you this card. I'm your new bearings inspector.
Oh? Oh, well, now, I'll be with you in just a minute. No, one at a time. Well, I'll be back later to go over this with you, Betty. Just in the meantime, do the best you can.
Oh.
Would you follow me, please?
Sure.
Just have a seat here. I'll be back shortly.
Well, Mr. Bradshaw, what's on your mind?
Bearings inspector.
She's a good one, too. Just look at that record.
Okay, now, Walt, you've had your little joke. Give her to somebody else. I asked for a man.
Yikes.
We don't have a man with her qualifications.
Oh, good. Is this actually going to be, like, nice and progressive, and they're going to be like, hey, you sexist piece of shit, shut up. She's qualified for the job. That'd be great.
Seriously, Brad, if you treat her right, she might make you a darn good employee.
What do you mean, treat her right?
Get that chip off your shoulder. What's wrong with her?
She's a woman, isn't she?
Now, wait a minute. You got a lot of women in your department. What's wrong with one more?
Did you ever hear of the straw that broke the camel's back?
Oh, God.
They're good workers. Accurate, quick to catch mistakes, a lot of patience.
Yeah, but that comes out of books. I work with them, mister. I know what happens.
What does happen?
Well, it's a long story.
Come on now, tell me. What does happen? Maybe I've been misinformed.
Not so long ago, you sent me a girl by the name of Myrtle Malloy. Remember?
I remember.
As per her qualifications, I assigned her to an inspection bench. Well, in a matter of days, that bench looked more like her dressing table. And then came the day when... Joe, will you take your stuff back to table 9? That'll be your bench for the time being.
Okay, Chief.
Myrtle, we're moving you to table number 10.
Is something wrong, Mr. Bradshaw?
No, nothing's wrong. We just need this space for something else.
Well, I sure hate to give it up. It's been a nice place to work. The light's good here, and it's nicely situated right in the middle of things.
Oh no, my employee is voicing their preferences? The horror!
Began to feel at home.
Well, I'm sorry, Myrtle, but table 10 will have to be your work area for the time being.
You mean there's liable to be another change?
There's always that possibility.
Well, I certainly hope I'm not moved every other day.
With ma'am? No.
Wait, why are they moving workstations? What is that helping? I'm genuinely curious what the point of moving people's workstations would even be. Why? If there are open desks, just leave them, and then if a new person comes on, put them in that desk. Why are you moving the employees around seemingly arbitrarily?
Trouble at all. Tell him what you want, and he does it. But with Myrtle, a little move is a big production.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. You asked me, now let me tell you.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Cotton Candy 903 with 10 bits. These women folk are far too opinionated.
Another problem.
Oh, Mr. Bradshaw, I wanted to tell you that the date is set for my marriage. I'll be leaving soon.
Marriage? I thought you just got engaged.
Well, I told you about it 6 months ago.
Okay, so how about we just have women continue to work even after they get married? Problem solved.
We were only waiting till we could find a place to live.
6 months ago? Oh, brother. Well, how soon are you leaving?
Well, the end of next week.
Well, that'll really put us in a bind around here. It takes time to break in a relief, girl.
Yes, I know it does. I wonder.
Why didn't you say something? I didn't realize you were getting married right away.
There's nothing funny
Oh,
about
I'm
the
sorry,
tools.
Mr.
Oh
But I
no,
really thought
Cascadia
you
93
knew.
says.
We've all been talking about it.
Okay, Brad, but how many blushing brides do you have? Besides, what's all this got to do with Dolly, the new girl? She's already married. And she's a qualified bearings inspector.
You know what I was doing when this new girl came in a few minutes ago?
No.
I was trying to cope with one of the biggest problems of all, Walt. Now, in your books, it comes under the general heading of absenteeism among women employees. Yesterday, I spent an hour and a half teaching one of our girls what she needed to know in order to start on the oscilloscope today.
Oh no, I have to train my employee and she doesn't have a penis? The horror! Wouldn't you have to train any employee on a new piece of equipment? Why is her gender relevant to the conversation at all?
This morning, she isn't here, so I had to use somebody else. Now, I don't think the girl we got on it now ever pick it up, so I'll probably have to find somebody else.
Question. All these things you've been talking about, marriage, absenteeism, personality problems, aren't they really just a part of life?
Part of a woman's life, maybe.
Oh, God.
But I can remember the good old days when there were all men in my department, and we didn't have these problems.
You
Doubt.
didn't have the production output you've got now either. Look, Brad, you've got a new bearings inspector who happens to be a woman. You need someone, and there isn't a man available. It seems to me that whether the gal adds up to trouble or not is pretty much up to you.
What is Brad's trouble? He's a sexist piece of shit. That's his problem. Oh, God. Nuclear preparedness film from the 50s. When and how to protect yourself against it. Fallout.
Attacks us with nuclear weapons. Danger will come not just from blast or heat
There's nothing funny about
or
the tools
nearby
of
radiation effect.
Give me that theremin, baby.
But
Give it to
also
me,
from
says
fallout.
Cascadia 93.
Fallout, which may occur miles and miles away from the blast. You need to know about fallout, what it is, how to detect it, and what to do to protect yourself against it. Everybody needs to know. Yes, this does mean you. Watch and listen. One day, these facts may save your life. What is this fallout, anyhow? Just bits of radioactive fall out of the mushroom cloud of the nuclear explosion and settle on the ground. These bits of matter can be dangerous. You're exposed to some radiation every day, from cosmic rays or other natural sources of radiation. These exposures are too small to hurt you. But when a wartime nuclear explosion occurs, a serious fallout follows. Thousands of tons of atomized earth, building materials, rocks, and gases may be thrown into the air. And the mushroom cloud containing them sometimes moves as high as 100,000 feet, nearly 20 miles up. Some of the radioactive particles spill out near the explosion site. Others may be carried for 10, 50, 100 miles or more. But how will you know if there is fallout? You can't hear, smell, taste, or see the radiation.
I'll know because my Pip-Boy will make that clicky noise.
But you yourself can detect the fallout particles that produce it. The easiest time to do this, without special instruments, is when the fallout is settling through the air. This starts any time from about 1/2 hour to several hours after the explosion, depending on how far away you are. And it continues to fall for an hour or longer. Usually, you can see the fallout. So if there has been an explosion of a nuclear weapon within a 200 miles of you, you should suspect every unusual concentration.
This is surprisingly dry for a movie about the, like, end of the world. Tokyo, 1913, colorized. I always find footage like this so strange. It's so weird seeing, like, that long ago in, like, high quality. Like, all these kids are probably dead now. That's a cool little, like, is it like a, what is it like a, I don't know what it is that he's carrying around. Like a portable shop, or is it like a one-man band thing? I have no idea what that thing was. Danny Sume, LOL, dark. Hey, you know what? Those children may have gone on to live very full lives, and then they died. You ever, you know, at the end of some movies, Animal House did this, and it became like a trope. The freeze frames at the end of the movie where it's like it tells you what happened to someone. I always feel like at the end of those it should say ... and then later they died. Because that's really the last page in everyone's book, you know? I can't even imagine growing up, like, in a time like this. I can barely remember time before the internet, much less, like, there's no TV. You might have a radio if your family has, like, enough money. I don't know. It just seems like the way people interacted with each other must have been fundamentally different. This more says about how long film has existed. Yeah. Think about this, too. This is weird. Like, think of how weird it is for us to look at this footage over 100 years ago. But in the future, that's going to be common. And not only 100 years ago, like, if human beings survive into the future, they'll have video from 1,000 years ago and be able to see people and, like, instead of looking at, like, I don't know, primary source documents the way we do now, they can literally see video footage of historical events happening. That's going to fundamentally change how people interact with history and how people view it. Like, we basically live at the dawn of a completely new kind of history. Like, not just mass visual media, but common mass visual media owned by the individual. Stuff like this, you know what I mean? People are not only going to be able to go back in time and look at video of people talking about political events, they're going to be able to go and look at people talking about them, stuff like this. Like, I have a YouTube archive channel. Let's say someday, 50 years from now, when storage gets really cheap, YouTube decides for historical posterity to save every YouTube video ever, and they put it somewhere. And people in the future can just see that. That's bananas, right? Like, what is that gonna be like?
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Slow X Mox Panda with 300 bits. Thank you. And, like, historians are gonna have to go through so many shit posts to learn about the history of memes. It's gonna be glorious.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
The issue with that is decay of technology and programming languages. They might not be able to decode or compressed video files. I would imagine in the future there'd be people who would be able to come up with programs to read things. That'd be something they would figure out. Like, there's no way, if they have access to video files in the future, like, let's say Google does somehow save, you know, all of YouTube or whatever to some server somewhere, and it maintains, like, its stability. In the future, someone would figure out a way to read those video files. It might take a while, but they would do it, because that's just, like, an invaluable piece of history. Antipodian Squid with 10 bits. Oh, Lord. The historians and people of the future dredging through the millions of unboxing videos out of YouTube and wondering what the hell it all meant. Have I ever heard of Questar? His content would be perfect for you to collab. No, I'm not familiar. Or Q-Star. Someone in the future will stumble upon the quarterings videos. Oh, God. That would be an interesting speciality if you were, like, a historian in the future. Like, not just, like, the historian of media, but someone who specializes in weird anti-SJW YouTubers who spend all their time complaining about social issues. And this is someone, you know, 1,000 years in the future or something who's like, oh, God. Who cares? Now we're talking about robot sentient super AI rights. Why do you care about, like, gay people being in your video games? Daddy Sume, how do you think these people would react to the current Tokyo weebs otaku? I have no idea. How would anyone 100 years ago react to, like, the societies that they grew up in 100 years later? Over 100 years later? Like, there's just no context for us to understand what that would be like. Imagine people watching this video in the future. You probably just creep them out a ton. I don't care.
There's nothing funny about
honestly, if there's a historian who has used their historian degree in the future and they're wasting their time watching me, then they've made terrible career decisions. Now I hope this happens, so there's just a historian 1,000 years in the future that's getting roasted by some douchebag on the internet that's been dead for 1,000 years. Burn us at the stake, beat us with sticks. That sounds about right. Here's New York in 1911. Random guy 2324 real. I really hope people think Brie Larson was a god anti-SJWs worshipped. What do you mean think? That's the reality. Look up Spanish flu 1918 to 1920 vids. I don't know how much I'll find, but I can look in a sec. No, they would think they feared her. She would be the Satan of their mythology. Yeah. That guy looks a lot like Woodrow Wilson. This is before the effing Titanic? Yeah. Like 3 years before. Was that 1914 Titanic happened? This is 1911. 1912? Okay. So it's a year before the Titanic. This city must have smelled like shit. Can I just point that out? This city must have smelled so bad with all the horses and probably not very up-to-date sewage systems. Can I go full screen? Yeah.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Just think, all these people are dead. Their children are dead. We're all dustlings before the wind. Oh no! I wonder if that guy lost his... Well, no, he's too young for that. Probably a factory accident or something. Or he got, like, trampled by a horse. I don't know. These kids just in the street about to get into like Little Rascals antics. Oh, the Flatiron Building. I recognize that. That's where the Daily Bugle is in some versions. They have the old-timey ooga horn. It's weird to see kids running down the street unsupervised. Yeah, in New York City of all places, too. When was Stan Lee born? Hold on. 1922. Stan Lee was born 11 years after this. Those people had a car, they must have been rich. Oh god, he's got to do turn signals with his hands because turn signals don't exist yet on cars. Yikes. Neither do traffic lights. True. Ugh. Are there even standardized, like, traffic signals at this point? Like stop signs and yield signs? Or did that not get standardized until later? Antipodian Squid with 300 bits, thank you. It's bizarre to see this as daily life, not as romanticized aesthetic and book or film. I mean, sure, you know people lived in this aesthetic, but you never think about it actually as a thing. Weird. This is pre-jaywalking laws. The roads were not like a thing that people considered like a thing you couldn't walk on back in the day. There was a whole like Adam Ruins Everything video about this. How the auto industry basically lobbied to get jaywalking laws put on the books. Because the roads were just the roads. Like, if you wanted to walk on the road, you walk on the road. Like, that was a thing in the past. Obviously, because, like, cars weren't as much of a thing, and carriages go much slower, people just walked in the road all the time. And then the car companies were like, oh god, more people need to buy cars that go faster. We need to get these people off the roads, and they changed the laws, and they made it so you can't just walk on the road anymore. Which, like, questionable, but, like, at the end of the day, probably a good move. It was a good move, you know, with the way cars developed. Daddy Sume. Nope, not until much later. It was actually car clubs by rich people who started that up. Ah, gotcha. They put their own signs while pushing for legislation to get control of the roads and stop people from walking on them. Cascadia 93, I love this so much as a history buff. This makes me smile so wide. Thank goodness this exists. Like, I'm still kind of tearing up a bit. Oh. And then Daddy Sume says, it's not really the auto industry. It was car clubs filled with rich people. Of course it was. Friggin' rich people traveling. The traveling emo. Now, these people couldn't quote Black's Law Dictionary because that version wasn't written until 1930. 19 years after this video. 1990s LA Highway video. Oh boy. Okay, we can check that out. I know there's a 90s HD New York footage too that we can watch. Cotton Candy 903. There aren't even any road lines. People just monitor which side they're on. Yep. They didn't have, I know this is going to sound crazy, but this came up in an episode of Quantum Leap. Like, a lot of roads, you know how, like, if you're out in the country and there's a road, like, you can see the edge of the road because often there's white lines painted on the side. Not always, but often there'll be white lines. That wasn't a thing until, like, the late 60s or the 70s. I only know that because Quantum Leap, he's going down the road and there's no lines, and he's like, I never realized how hard it was to drive on the roads without the white lines on the side, because it was night and it was hard for him to see where the road ended. Roman Civilian, thank you for getting a sub, tier 1, appreciate that. Slow Xbox Panda with 100 bits. What are the chances of getting rid of that huge constantly video blocking Elon gif? Maybe have a small one or just the dono message? I can probably move it over, but no, that's the entire point. Is so people can see the thing that they're doing. Lyseus with 100 bits. To think the seconds were much longer during this time. I understood that reference. Oh, Hype Train. Thanks. 63% of level 1. Let's see the HD 90s. MW1642, thanks for the 200 bits. New York City in 1993. This was a demo of an HD camera because they existed in the 90s. They just weren't prevalent because they were so expensive. So this is New York in the 90s in HD. It's very strange to see because we normally see, you know, the 90s in standard definition. Oh, Antipodian Squid with 5,000 bits. Thank you. Did someone say hype? Indeed. Thanks. Daddy Sume with a bit. If you watch the podcast I suggested, there's your problem about engineering disasters. They talk about traffic engineering and how stupid early traffic shit was in one episode. Oh, I bet. Tatsuyo Dragneel, thank you for the 5 bits. And Cold Stare, thanks for gifting a sub. I'll move this down here, so it'll just block me. It won't block the video. How about that? That's a compromise.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism. There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
I need to mute this. That was dumb. Of course there's a licensed music in this. That's annoying.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. This music is perfect for Elon removing his jacket. True.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
You were in high school in 93? I wasn't even born yet in 93. Have 5 bits? Thanks, Baha. Interesting stuff. Very, very interesting. There's 90s LA.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Daddy Sume with a bit. I was 2. I was born in 94, so. Cars were real ugly in the 90s, weren't they?
There's nothing funny about the
Of course,
tools
that's
of
subjective,
capitalism.
but I don't know. I think 1950s cars and even 1970s cars have a charm, but like the 80s and 90s, cars got real ugly for a while. Cotton Candy 903. I wasn't even a sperm yet in 93. I wasn't born until 97. Oh. Ooh, Victorian England. This one's from 1901. That's a cool one.
The quality. However, it is still cool. So, enjoy your time travel experience. Human.
Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. Why you all so young? Why you so old?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Look at all these people who are gonna die of the black lung. Oh, that guy looked like he didn't have eyes.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Like, something about the, like, footage that they're using and the AI upscaling is making it, like, go over their eyes and make it look like none of these people have eyes, and it's kind of scary. All those people are dead. Yes, true.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
Cascadia 93. Look at this. Look at them staring at the camera. It must have been wild, or must have been mind-boggling to see something like that. This. I love film, yeah. It's cool. This kid looks so confounded by the camera. Yes. Yes, kid. Do it. Look at that kid. That kid's got more confidence than I'll ever have.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Cascadia 93. See them pointing like it's a magic device. Oh, God. And we carry them in our pockets. Yeah, it's crazy. Ooh, Paris, 1890s. How is there even video of this? Because, let me see, when was the first camera, I should say, motion camera invented? The motion camera was invented in 1888. So this is the 1890s, so it's a new thing, but it did exist. And it's been upscaled and colored and stuff, obviously. It looked much worse than this, but they use like an algorithm to try and guesstimate and make it higher quality than it was actually shot in.
There's nothing funny about
Oh no, Notre Dame. Yeah. It's alright, it's still standing. It just got a little burnt, got a little crispy. Cascadia 93. It's just a world that cannot, will not, definitely should not exist anymore. It's a separate world from ours. That's what makes me love history. And early film, in my opinion, are some of the most important things ever captured in human history. It's again, I talked about it earlier, but like the advent of video and the ability to actually see things as they were in the past is going to completely change people's relationship with history as we move forward as a species. It's going to be very interesting. Bobbing for giblets. And here you can see all the rich people have carriages instead of cars. Yeah. Hello. 4. Yeah. Oh no, maybe we only completed 3. And we almost got to 4, I didn't remember.
Well, chat. How would you feel if I, instead of putting hats on Hannah, I just braided her hair or something?
Sure. Cotton Candy 93 with 10 bits. So strange to think about the fact that the sound had to be added and the color. It's so interesting. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Of course they had to add sound. That's so obvious, but I didn't even think about it. Because it's so natural to see, like, video with sound. It's what we're used to. The talkies weren't invented until much later. Ooh, is that like a... are these firefighters? Nice.
Nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Hitler was a baby when these videos were recorded. Think about that. I'd rather not. Quick, someone get us a ticket to Austria.
If only anyone in the shot.
We gotta psychically send a message back in time to this child in particular and be like, implanted thought, go to Austria, kill Adolf Hitler. Sushi Bomb 10 with 100 bits. This is because of Bellstar. Quote, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life. Take the lemons back. Get mad. I don't want your damn lemons. What the heck am I supposed to do with these? Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day it thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with lemons. Portal 2. If anyone hasn't played it. Is that like a moving? Oh, it's a train. They're on like a train of some sort. But it's like a train that you just hold on to? It's like public transport, but oh my god, that's so weird. Look at this train. I didn't even know they made something like this. It's like the most unsafe subway system in the history of subways. That's so weird. Very cool. Let me see if there's any other ones on here, and then we'll probably move on.
Funny
We've
about
been doing a lot
the
of
tools
these.
capitalism.
That would be brand new. The Eiffel Tower. Yeah. What didn't they build it for like a World's Fair?
Yeah, and then they just never took it down.
Yeah. What year was that? I don't know what year that was. France. World.
88 or something? Oh, 1900.
1900.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
And they hated it. Yeah, it only got saved because it ended up being used as a radio tower. Because they were going to tear it down.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Which is funny to think about. Wind Chanter. The most unsafe subway is the one John Doyle works at. It has a fascist and a gun. That's good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
There's footage from the moon, upscaled.
Ooh.
And stabilized.
That's cool.
That max acceleration? No. Man, you are really bouncing. Is he on the ground at all? That's 10 kilometers. Huh? He's got about 2 wheels on the ground. He's a big rooster tail out of all 4 wheels. And as he turns, he skids. The back end breaks loose just like on snow. Come on back, John. Hey, the deck is running. Man, I'll tell you, Andy's never seen a driver like this.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Kiss93 says, I'm actually crying. I'm so happy. Well, that's good. Here's a link to this channel if you want it. And here's a link to this video, and from this you can get to the channel. They do a lot. They have a lot of videos like this.
Stop. Those wheels just locked. Mark off. Okay. Do you want to do it one more time? Yeah, about a minute, 5 seconds that time. Mark off.
Oof. Video of the Twin Towers from the summer of 2001.
On that side.
That's so weird.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
This is obviously fake. Everyone knows there's no such thing as space. I'm assuming that's based on the previous video. The building of the One World Trade Center, which I think is the name of the new tower that stands there. It's a pretty cool looking tower. I'm sure all of you have seen it at this point. I'm a little bummed. I mean, I'm sure there was plenty of discussion as to what to put and what to rebuild in the spot, but I kind of would have liked another 2-tower thing as like a homage. I don't know what that's probably not the best word, but you know what I mean. But it's a cool looking skyscraper. I've heard the memorial's pretty good there too.
I mean, didn't they just leave the area where the second tower was like blank?
They did both towers. Yeah, you can see them right here. They're like fountains now. They put fountains in the footprints of where the old towers were, and this one is right next to it. I've heard the memorial's good, although the gift shop I've heard is very, very tacky and disrespectful, but...
Ooh.
It's a nice looking tower, if you're gonna rebuild, you know. The anniversary of 9/11's tomorrow, actually. You sent a package to the P.O. box. When's the next unboxing? That's a good question. We probably need to go look and get packages sometime in the next week or two, just in case it's has a bunch of them. What else shall we watch? Thank you.
You look very pretty.
Thank you. Oldest
There's
recorded video. This is from 1888. A lot of those Voices in the World Trade Center video were probably there that day. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad to think about. It's weird to think about people that are younger than us, because, like, there's a girl who was
Sequence from possibly the earliest surviving film record, the more consistent.
9/11 at all.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I remember it because I was in school, and obviously, like, it was scary.
I remember 9/11. I know I didn't understand it very well. I was like, how old was I? 94. So I was 7.
Yeah.
I
definitely didn't understand the magnitude of it.
Yeah, I think.
By the way, this historical film is surrounded by
like,
September.
Everyone was freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. I remember, like, school
There's
basically
nothing funny
stopped
about the
for the
tools
day
of
when it
capitalism.
happened.
Yeah. We got put on lockdown.
We did too. I think most schools probably did.
Yeah.
Fire hot spots in Oregon. Ooh. Yikes.
That's scary. That's so scary.
Yeah.
That's a reason that I like living in Michigan. We're surrounded by water.
TV, and it makes the headlines in newspapers. As an employee, what do you need to know about it? First, sexual harassment is against the law, and it's against your company's policy. So,
Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. I know what Baja means. A friend who was much younger than me asked me recently if I was taught about the Port Arthur massacre in school, and I was like, no, sweetie, I remember it. I don't even know what that is. Port Arthur massacre. Hold on.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
96. Oh, yeah. I definitely don't remember that.
Yeah.
what is that?
Cascadia 93. Sky is orange right now. Concerned boyfriend noises. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sexual harassment.
That's so scary.
Linda, you are doing a fine job here.
Please be safe to anybody that's near the fires.
Capitalism, a 1948 educational film.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Chat, Hannah's shirt is so fucking soft. I just want to, like, pet it. It's so soft. Doesn't help that I also like
There's nothing
touching
funny
Hannah
about the
in
tools
general.
of capitalism.
Daddy Sume with a bit and a video. If this is a Rickroll, your life is forfeit. 80s burger wrap.
Your life is forfeit.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Thanks, Cotton Candy 903. Is this like a
Hey, Greg,
training
what's up?
video
Not
for
much.
Wendy's?
Mary's up front. She wants to see you. Right?
I was wondering if I was the only one getting that horrendous
Hi, Bill.
high-pitched
Hey.
sound.
I'm gonna pull you off fries today because I want you to learn grill. Have you clocked in?
Yeah.
Let's get started. You're familiar with the grill, but let me show you a few things you might not already know. The meat is here in the cold well, and the cheese is over here. Bun warmer up above keeps the buns
It's
warm.
weird that they keep the meat in the same part as the other ingredients. They definitely didn't do that when I worked at restaurants. Maybe that was a food safety thing that changed from the 80s.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the meat and this is the cheese. Like, they're not in the same container, but they're right next to each other. It seems like a dangerous thing to keep your raw beef next to your cheese.
Fresh. Remember, we serve 100% pure ground beef. It's patted into squares so that the meat hangs over the bun. Yeah. Now, the tape I'm going to show you will show you how to... Here's a crew guide and the grill training tape. Why don't you have a look at the tape first, and I'll check back with you in a few minutes.
What
the Duke of the Grill. And you're about to learn some grill skills. So let's get busy now. Come on, let's go.
The grill, Bill, it ain't so tough. But first of all, you got to check your stuff. Like a grill that's set at 250 with the meat and cheese that's ready to go. A towel to keep your station looking cool. But most of all, you got to have your tool.
I thought it was a microwave.
Are you with me now? Get ready. We're gonna lay them down. Now, meat's got grain to it just like wood. You got to follow the arrow to lay it down like you should. From the front to the back, you got to lay it down. Space it evenly, not scattered around. Next, you got to salt the meat from the back to the front to make the taste complete. Not too little, not too much. With a little finesse, you'll get the touch. What's coming up next is our key to success. We'll turn the meat and do a 4-corner press. Don't wait too long, I emphasize, or the meat won't reach the proper size. When things start to sizzle, you're ready to go. Gently turn the meat, but don't be slow. Just turn them over easily. We don't want a broken patty, that's a guarantee. Press out the corners 1, 2, 3, 4. Rock it a bit, are you keeping score? The reason you press, you gotta think. When the meat hits the grill, it starts to shrink.
We start shrinking when we hit that grill. You know it will. We start shrinking when we hit that grill. You know it will.
When the meat's red, juices no longer rise. You can serve that patty, it'll win a prize. It takes about 4 minutes to cook, but just to make sure you can have a look. Use your tool and double check, it should be gray and moist to be correct. And order's placed, you're ready to go. Drain the meat, just like so. Once the draining is totally done, place the patty squarely on the heel of that bun. Now there you go, Billy, you give it a shot. Don't be afraid, I think you're gonna be hot.
Nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
That was strange. Catalina Gearbox with a $3 donation. Did you know that the meat in the Wendy's chili is made from old meat that's been on the grill too long? I did know that, actually. That's a good use of recycled meat. Like, some people might think that's gross, but I'd rather they do that than just throw it away. It's in the chili anyway. You don't notice. Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. This is worse than salty. I definitely don't know about that one. I can't say I agree. In fairness, I've actually had to sit through all the salty movies. You guys just get to watch my reviews that are like truncated and have the jokes in them. I actually have to sit through the salty movies, okay? They're not that great when you have to sit through an hour, okay? They go over that in the training videos. Oh, yeah. There's a video on capitalism from 1948. After this, I'm probably going to stop and go get ready for D&D, by the way.
I wonder where he is. Oh, hiya, Jim. Hi. Well, look, we still have a few minutes before we go on the air. I'd like to tell you
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Let's save the talk.
I expect no bias.
Capitalism is an economic system.
Same.
A system for the production and distribution of things we need and want.
I won't agree to that. Not until you say something about government, too.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
There has to be a legal basis for any economic system to operate.
Tetsuyo Dragneil with 5 bits. The video of the towers reminded me that according to Drama CD in the original Digimon Adventures universe, it's canon that kids with Digimon helped find survivors when it happened, and Mimis parents made food for people there. Oh, God. How about Digimon chooses not to cover what happened in 9/11 in the Digimon universe in canon? That'd be great. More Wendy's? Oh, God.
And hot chocolate. Those are the hot drinks that you serve so good.
Why are they trying to be hip? No one who works at Wendy's gives a fuck. Just tell them what you want them to say and how to serve the food.
coffee's
I was gonna
home
say
and time
shitty
is
food, but honestly, out of the
30
fast
minutes,
food
so
places,
long.
Wendy's is pretty good.
Can't stay there
So,
before inside it tastes too strong. Hot, hot, careful when you pour it. Hold it steady upon the counter, let it sit.
okay, that's enough of that. We get it. Now let's hear about how capitalism, which produces things like Wendy's and that awful training video, is the best.
Well, it's easy to see that you have different ideas of what capitalism is. Maybe we should talk about what it is not. It is not a system of strict governmental control and planning in which a dictator or board tells people what jobs they may hold and what goods they may produce.
And it's not a system of government ownership.
Cascadia 93, because capitalism is cool, Hannah. It's the 80s, Hulk Hogan and Ronald Reagan, Rambo. Sagloon, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream.
Let me tell you about something. It shows that the basis of the capitalistic system is private property. It happened when Eleanor and I went down to get the things for the class weenie roast. We went to Mr. Brown's store. Well, that's what I mean.
And certainly, this is all capitalism will ever be, right? A man behind a counter serving you and paying, and you pay him, and he owns the store. Certainly we won't wind up in a situation where giant conglomerates pay people to do the work that they could do themselves if they could afford to own the means of production, but instead will pay them minimum wage to do the job that owners used to do in their own businesses. Of course not.
Mr. Brown really...
Cat and Candy 903. I would probably remember less if Duncan showed me those videos. I would just block it from my mind.
He owns property. All those store fixtures, and the groceries in there, and, well, the whole store.
And I'm sure that's how it'll always be. The people who work in the stores will be the owners. That's exactly how capitalism will always work, and the conglomeration of both capital and the means of production will not be funneled towards the top. Don't worry about it. Stone Corbell with 20 bits. Pay no attention to the multi-billion-dollar international corporations that use their money and influence to control governmental policy.
It's his property, and he can do almost anything with it that he likes. We needed weenies. Mr. Brown had weenies. It's as simple as that.
Nothing funny about the
You might
tools of
argue about his
capitalism.
prices.
Cascadia with a bit. To be fair to this video, a little, skipping the racist exclusion, this was a little closer to the truth. The issue is obviously that no one stopped it at that, yeah. Which is why you need government interference. You need government intervention in systems in order for it to function. Like, I don't necessarily have a problem with the idea of capitalism in theory, right? Like, the idea that, like, yeah, if you own a shop on your own and you want to run it, like, I get that. I understand that as an ideal. But that's not how it works out. Fundamentally, if the government doesn't get involved and make sure things don't get out of hand and that these giant conglomerates don't happen, then you wind up in a system where you can't own a store on your own as an individual because you're competing with giant multi-billion-dollar corporations like Walmart, and then you have to be an employee for them, and there's no chance for you to be able to own your own shit. Like, I don't know what the solution is, but it's certainly not more capitalism, right?
Anyway, Eleanor did. But after all, he has a right to earn something for the goods and services he supplies, and he does supply services as well as goods. When we agreed to buy everything from him, weenies, buns, marshmallows, and charcoal, he agreed to give us extra service, deliver everything in his truck. And since we didn't have enough...
And you have to then loan money from a billionaire to keep your store open, yeah.
Cars, he agreed to make another trip and take a lot of the kids out to the picnic. And he could help us that way because the truck is his private property.
And it's, by the way, it's not like the understanding that capitalism as it exists in the United States, it's not like it was a foreign concept that these sort of things would lead to the result of having, you know, wealth being funneled towards a top % of people and the rest of people being exploited for their labor. Like, I'm not a Marxist by any means, but, like, he did predict that shit, right? Like, at the end of the day, people knew that this stuff was gonna happen, and they were like, no, it's fine. Or, like, even worse, there are people who are like, good, I hope I'm in that top 1%. It's, like, really messed up.
And he can do just about anything with it that he wants. That's how a capitalistic system operates. The people own property and use it to provide the goods and services that all of us need.
That's what I mean about government. Mr. Brown's very right to own property is guaranteed by our Constitution. Yes, but, well, Bill's missed the whole point to what happened at Mr. Brown's store. Mr. Brown has property, all right, but that's not what he's interested in. And he does help supply us with things we want. But that's not why he's in business. He's in business to make money. There's the basis of the capitalistic system, the profit motive.
And I'm sure nothing bad will ever come of the profit motive being put ahead of everything else. Don't worry about it.
He may give service when he has to make a profit. Well, when I complained that his prices were too high, he could see those profits going right out the window if we didn't buy from him. So naturally he offered to help us out with his truck, so he could make a sale
There's nothing
and
funny
a
about
profit.
the tools of
And
capitalism.
just think of all the others who made a profit on those weenies.
Catalina Gearbox with $3. This is why I hate when people tell me to go work at a factory. I want to be paid more. Not everyone can or should be forced to work in a factory. I have worked in too many of them to tell you how crap they are today. I believe you. Unions have been completely destroyed. No, I say completely. Unions have been thoroughly destroyed in this country. So there's not a lot of outlet for workers to have, recourse towards their employers if the situation they're in is bad.
Cattle growers, meat packers, shippers, distributors, they're all in business to make profit.
Of course they make a profit. And it's a good thing. That's the incentive that makes capitalism work.
How about you do what you do for a living because it's a role in society? Really? You're like, I would totally not farm, but I make money doing it, so I'll do it. Like, okay, but like people need food. So someone needs to make that food, and someone needs to process that food, and someone needs to ship that food, and someone needs to sell that food. Why are we all skimming off the top, right? At the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know.
To give us more of the things that we need. That's the incentive that other economic systems lack.
I think you've both missed the point. It's competition. That's why Mr. Brown offered his truck. He wanted to make sure you'd buy from him and not from a competitor.
And why was he free to make that offer? Freedom of contract. You and Mr. Brown entered into a contract, an agreement. You agreed to buy what you needed from him. He agreed to let you use the truck. In the same way, he got the weenies by entering into a contract with the wholesaler. And he got the truck by entering into a contract with someone else. Under a capitalistic system, you're free to make almost any kind of a contract with anyone.
Freedom of contract, competition, profit motive, private property. And what do they all add up to? Free enterprise. Well, that's what capitalism is. A system of free enterprise. Well, now tell us what free enterprise means. All right. It means that you can go into business wherever and however you please.
Okay, but functionally that's not how it works, right? Like, in a system where we have in the United States, where you have such free, like, almost laissez-faire capitalism, where there are so few regulations, and you're allowed to do whatever you want, we've wound up in a situation where you can't just open a small business in your little town and serve the people within it. You're inherently going to be competing with giant corporations, and you're always going to lose that fight. Like, you can't win. It implies that the system is going to be fair and equitable to everyone in it, regardless of what you're going into the system with, and it's not the case. It just isn't. Like, you can't open a tiny grocery store and expect to compete with Walmart. You're not going to be able to compete on prices or services or availability of goods. You just won't be able to do it. So what do you do when you're in a situation where you literally cannot have people opening businesses for themselves and everyone has to go and work for some giant corporation where they're going to produce more value than is being given back to them in the form of compensation? Because people don't get paid more than they're worth. Because if they were, that business goes out of business, right? So inherently, when you're doing a job, like the work you do at Walmart is more valuable to Walmart than the amount they're paying you. That's how they make a profit. They pay you a certain amount of money to do a certain thing, and then they sell goods for a certain amount of money, more so than they paid for that also covers the labor costs, and then they make money on it, right? They're basically middlemen. Even though everyone in the Walmart are the one who make Walmart function, even though the people who like order the food and stock the shelves and do maintenance on the cash registers and all the like self-checkout things, they're the ones who actually make the business function. But really, they don't own that business. They're not the ones who gain the benefits of that business, even though they're the ones who are actually making it function. They're effectively being hired by middlemen who are there only to hire other people to come and do a job that they don't want to do. And all the people who hire them to do that is sit in a boardroom and take the profit, right? Like, that's a fucked up system. Careful, though, if you're in a right-to-work state and your supervisors find out, oh, you're talking about unionizing? Yeah.
Anybody can go into any business. Any legal business, that is.
No, they can't. They cannot. I cannot go open a supermarket tomorrow and have it be a sustainable business. It's just impossible. I can't go tomorrow and start my own internet ISP or start a Netflix competitor. Like, you just cannot do this. You need to already have capital at this point, because corporations are so big in this country. If you don't already have a large amount of capital, there's no way for you to get your foot in the door and to start a competing business with these people. It's impossible. Cascadia93. But that's not how the Honorable James McCarthy told me, Hannah, and he's a trustworthy man.
But I still say you can't leave government out of the discussion. Government must at least guarantee the right of private property and freedom of contract in order that...
Quiet, please, everybody. We're on the air in a few seconds.
Is this like another bit shoot type site and Sargon's on it? Yeah.
Our topic today,
questionable.
What is capitalism? We hear capitalism. Capitalistic system on every hand, on the radio, in newspapers, magazines, books, in lectures and daily conversation. But just what is capitalism? To start our forum, we will present a few candid interviews, recorded remarks of representative citizens of our town who were asked for their opinions about our capitalistic system.
Capitalism? Well, why should there be any question about it?
Well, that settles it. We're done. We can pack up, folks. We're good.
Hasn't it given us the highest standard of living in the world?
Surely it won't get out of control in the next 50 years and screw over the workers. That'll never happen.
We don't have free enterprise. Just bureaucratic red tape. The government ought to keep its hands off business.
Fuck you. If you can't deal with reasonable government regulation, then you can't afford to be in business, period.
Freedom of contract? Don't know about that. We've got the union and seniority. I make a living. I should worry.
Where's all this competition we've heard so much about? You call these prices low?
Well, perhaps the regular I'm glad I can work for myself. With capitalism, you take your choice.
It seems that capitalism means different things to different people. Let's hear now from our town treasurer, Mr. John Howard.
We say we live in a capitalistic society. What does that mean? Well, we can point to certain fundamental ideas which we say are part of a capitalistic system. For example, private property. Individuals or corporations may own land, natural resources, buildings of all kinds, machinery and equipment for the production of goods, facilities for the transportation of goods, and the goods themselves. In a capitalistic system, these are usually private property.
Is he gonna say, buy up all your competitors so you can raise the price? I doubt they'd be that blatant.
Another idea fundamental to capitalism is the profit motive. For the sake of profit, we cultivate the land. We build great factories to produce goods.
And we jack up your insulin prices. Pay me $300 or you die. Good idea. It's worked out really well. Thanks, guys.
We sell for profit. The goods thus produced, we transport over large distances, still for the sake of profit. Those who have savings often invest or lend them, hoping for a share of profit. And in so doing, help to build the industrial...
Less than 50% of Americans own stock, and 90% of stock is owned by the top, I forget if it's 1% or 10%. Either way, this idea that, like, the common person is super invested in the stock market in such a way as to, like, become part of, like, the capitalist system is just not true. Like, the vast majority of stock is owned by a very few people.
Real might of the nation. Some other ideas are basic to capitalism. Competition, freedom of contract, free enterprise. What do they mean? Could these rights exist without laws that define and protect them? Do just these few things make up a capitalistic system? Or should something more be said? Perhaps your forum will have some of the answers.
There is more to be said, Mr. Howard. A great deal more. That's why we're holding this forum. Now it's up to you. Listen, consider, discuss. This is your forum. What is capitalism?
Trash.
Do just these few things make up a capitalistic system? Or should something more be said? Perhaps your forum will have some of the answers.
There is more to be said, Mr. Howard. A great deal more. That's why we're holding this forum. Now it's up to you. Listen, consider, discuss. This is your forum. What is capitalism?
Bad. All right. That's my hot take. All right, that's it for today. I'm going to go get ready for D&D. I'm hungry, and I got to cut this up real quick before the game starts. So, thanks, everyone. I'm going to raid Actual Jake, because we're going to be doing D&D in about 30 minutes over there. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. It's a lot of fun. What is capitalism? The inability to retire and die younger than you should because you can't afford healthcare. Anyway, thanks everyone. It was a fun stream. I'll be back tomorrow for Chud Watch, so come back for that. We'll see what John Doyle's been up to and all sorts of other fun people. So have a good night. Chat is valid. See you guys later.